We know how much you guys love listening to our stories, but did you know you can also listen to more stories, books, and podcasts on audible.com?
Say what?
Listeners of Storylords might enjoy the comedy sci-fi series Dungeon Crawler Carl. It's about a regular guy named Carl who's thrown into a big old dungeon crawl to save humanity from aliens, which are real. Do your own research.
And I've been listening to the High Republic Star Wars series for months now. And I've been listening to...
I am partial to iRobot
Okay, go, your turn.
because it helps me set my boundaries with organic beings.
I like to read magazines that judge people's decorating tastes. Oh yes, okay, you go. Do they do those?
Audible lets you listen to your favorite series while you're driving or just chilling at home at any speed you want. And there's tons of books and types of literature to choose from. I like the book. That's audibletrial.com/storylords. Sign up for a trial today and help support your boys, the Storylords. Aww.
Hello everyone and welcome to Storylords, the prompt-based fiction podcast with 2 prompts, 3 stories, and infinite laughter, but not this week! We got 4 stories this week, motherfuckers.
Oh god. I was worried about the infinite laughter.
Yeah, we're definitely not
have
for that.
4 laughter and no stories.
We might not even have 4 laughter. I'm Rick Masters, and with me as always is Jeff Pennington.
Hey everybody.
And Josh Henderson.
I'm the third guy.
And with us now...
You're the first guy this time.
Yeah, you are the first. First the worst. And with us is the amazing, the super talented, the buff, the one who loves my mum, VidaZen.
Hello.
Hey, Greg.
Explosion sounds.
He's exploding.
I'm putting them in. They're happening right now.
I'm dismembered. My body parts are flying everywhere.
Oh, man.
Damn.
Look, dude, as long
fine.
as you can read a fucking
will
story, it doesn't matter.
Yep, just a talking head.
In a jar.
Hell
I've been
yeah.
listening to your album like nonstop, Greg.
Yeah, me
Aw.
too, man. It fucking rules.
Oh man, thanks guys.
Now if I
appreciate
say
that.
it, I'm going to seem like a dick because I said it first.
And what would that album be called, and where could people find it, Greg?
Oh my gosh. Well, if you want to hear it, you just go on to fucking Google and type in Santosha band music, something, something like that.
This is terrible.
And
is well
then
thought
you
of.
find it.
Then
Wow.
you find it.
Yeah, it's
Wow,
there.
what a
It's there.
salesman.
He didn't even say what the name of
God.
the album is.
Like fucking P.T.
know,
Barnum
for-
on the show.
For a second, Jeff, I literally thought I was gonna forget, and then I was like, wait. Oh no, that's right. Yes, it's called Collecting Sonder, which is like a little play because we used to be called Sonder, but when I went to upload music under that, there's already a band named Sonder, and they have millions of
14
listeners.
bands.
Yeah, there's like a ton of stuff. So I was like, okay, time to change the name, and so I thought I'd name the album a little nod to that. So
I think Santosha
Yeah.
is a cooler name.
I would have
Thanks.
gone with the other name you were thinking about. We Love Josh.
It's
yeah,
too
Josh
unrealistic,
is-
though, isn't it?
Josh's buff forearms. Yeah, I was gonna go with that
That's a
one.
metaphor. I love Josh's real big actual dick.
If we're talking about who's the biggest Santosha fan here, and I know we're not, I have
I
a
guess we are
T-shirt
now.
from a Santosha.
Oh
show,
shit!
so-
You have a T-shirt. I forgot
Yeah.
that we even had those at that show.
Well, I'm Greg's dad, so fuck you.
Well, shit.
True that.
Greg was
Listen.
like trying to. I was like, I'm gonna go buy some shirts, and he was like, No, I'll give them to you. And I was like, Greg, that's not what selling shirts is.
that's
No.
yeah. I
Fucking-
want to
this
buy
is
it.
why I'm struggling. You know, this is why
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
that
really making it right now.
It's
Greg
that
was like,
Greg
"Wait,
salesperson technique again, isn't it? It's coming
That's
up,
right.
coming up money.
Greg-
How do I get a
Stop
shirt,
it.
Greg? You go on Google, you type in band shirts, and you find it.
It comes up. That's what it does now. That's
I
what
had to
they
be
do.
like, Greg, money can be exchanged for goods and services.
Elaborate.
Listen, I just want to live in the world where the replicators can just give us
I
all what we
agree.
need.
Oh, yeah.
That's all.
Money.
Replicate so many shirts.
Shut up, Rich.
I would still replicate money, even though we didn't need it anymore.
Why?
Just
Why?
to roll
So I
around
could
in it.
throw it at people?
Scrooge McDuck around?
Yeah,
burn it.
exactly. Just so I could make people who had money before the post-scarcity environment that we now live in cry. Like, look at what I can do with the money. I just don't need it. I'll throw it off a bridge.
They're not gonna cry. They're gonna get violent
There's more of us than there are of them, though.
because they're no longer in charge. Uh-oh.
But there's
What have we
more.
done?
Uh-oh, we're actually doing a merit-based
Uh-oh.
system?
That's happening. Uh-oh.
Well, don't worry. All that good feeling will just trickle down to them, right? Because that's
Yeah,
what their
it
whole
should.
belief system is based on.
Just like
trickle
my
down.
piss into
Fucking
their
lib
mouths.
cuck white apologist podcast.
Well, you guys did ask me to be on, so you know.
That's the review we got
Not
on
helping that
M+.
demographic, sorry.
You guys will understand that joke in a couple days.
This
Oh,
week,
fuck.
this episode, our prompts were unusual tools and snipers.
It was
Who?
a 10 out of 10
And I
choices.
definitely knew it beforehand.
Yep.
I definitely told Greg and didn't make
Jeff,
him listen to the episode
He
to find out.
he texted me like 3 months ago and told me this because he's clairvoyant. So
I am actually not normally one to brag about my story and the prompts, but I fucking nailed this week with the prompts.
ooh,
And
They are
insert the
integral.
supercut of Rich saying that over and over again.
Yeah,
Now I
fine.
gotta make a techno remix of that.
Fine.
Shit. I'm not
turned weirdly
usually one.
like hoedown for a second there.
It was a
what I
little
doing.
hoedowny.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell. Think about cowboys. a lot.
So, let's just test. Let's see how shoehorned they in. Let's go to the shoehorn
Let's
king.
see how shoehorned they in. Yes.
Like, one of us was gonna jump on that like a grenade in Captain America, and Josh was way faster.
Yeah, because I kind of want to die, you know?
I didn't write that down, so I got confused.
All
Anyway,
right, I put cry for help off the bingo
cry for
card.
help here.
Yep, I marked my bingo card already, so we're good.
Oh, God. Oh, is it my... I'm supposed
Yeah.
to read now. Okay, I'm first.
yeah,
Right.
that's how the
My
show
story-
works.
Okay, I forgot.
Not
let's see how they
introduce
work.
you, I'd like to point out.
I
fine.
did. You were just
Everyone-
talking over me.
That's
Oh,
true.
well, that's how the podcast works.
Well, then fucking deal with it, man. Because that's how the
My
podcast
story-
works too.
My story is called.
Do you guys want me to
story
go
is-
now? Okay.
You can
My
all
story
go. I'll
is
do the show
called-
on my own.
The All-C Booth.
Ooh.
The streets of Grawl. There's no place like it. You could be walking down the street of the butcher district and get any type of meat product you want. Then you hop over to the red light district and get any type of meat you want. This guy knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, boy, clap them cheeks, son.
Hey.
Usually, the morning hustle and bustle of Grawl consists of two types of beings. The workers who are making their way to their various jobs, and the drunk amblers going home or back to their gutters for the day. Which is how Grawl's most famous street got its name, Walk of Shame Boulevard.
What a
Gunk
beautiful
rubbed-
city.
Yeah.
The Big Bapple. Gunk rubbed the sleep crumbs from his eyes and beard. Above him, the dual sons of Daranos hung like two radiating titties from the she-goddess Titania, the goddess of mommy milkers.
I
He
love her.
shielded his eyes.
That is so canon. It's been said 3 times now, and it makes me laugh every time.
So many. He shielded his eyes and looked around. The busy day had already begun, and the workers were on their way to their various occupations. Ugh, Gunk grumbled. Why didn't I drink all that turpentine? Next to him, a hobo shifted under a cardboard box and put a hand on Gunk's chest. Because you're trying to assuage the guilt you feel for all the terrible things you may have done. Also, I'm sensing a deep sense of loss, which is probably why you and I fucked like 3-dicked rabbits last night, the hobo said. Pretty astutely for a drunken-ass hobo who lives in a box. Huh, Gunk said. He looked at his hands. They were trembling slightly. Could be from his weeks-long bender or the cold of the Grawl streets that was seeping into his bones. Go back to bed, baby, the hobo man said gently. Look, Gunk said, you've been a real comfort to me in this time of insane, self-destructed, short-sighted, supernova-like implosion, both mentally and physically. But I'm afraid I have to get going. All right, baby, I'll be here when you need me, the hobo said as he slid back under his box blanket.
Josh, if you just opened your diary instead of the story you were writing.
Rich, do you think I'm disciplined enough to write in a diary?
No, that's true.
I can't even write a story for the show we do.
That's true. All right, sorry, I apologise.
You did it.
No, he didn't write this. He didn't write this. This is all from his brain, right now.
Yeah, I'm just reciting a dream I had last night.
The improv skills are off the fucking
They are
charts,
great.
man.
Except the hobo, that was just Rich.
Yeah, that was doing the voice.
The
Just
names
the
are
voice.
different, I changed it, yeah.
I think he meant that he was fucking you in a gutter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And his gutter.
Yep. My
He
cum
cleaned his
gutters.
gutters up.
Oh,
There it is.
oh, there it is. Gunk looked around at the zombie-esque crawl of shame walkers as they rambled down the Walk of Shame Boulevard. Most were hungover. Some were nude and hungover. And the ones who really tied it on, like Gunk, were hungover, nude, and without their all sea balls to call a puber.
Puber.
It's a pickup Uber. It picks you up. Fuck, he said to himself, patting himself down as if he had clothes on and just forgot which pocket his all sea ball was in. Oh, wait, here's a voice. Oh, shit. Okay, right. New voice.
Is that part of the story?
Yep, that's it. And as we turn to traffic this morning, we see Waukesha Boulevard is jam-packed with shamblers, said Trent Thistleman, the Grawl weather and traffic gnome. Flamingo's hideout was mostly clear of customers this time of morning, save for the few random, really serious alcoholics. Like my father is probably there right now. What? You thought I was going to make fun of your mama again? Look, sometimes we have to look inward and take stock of our own shortcomings. Your whore mother and my drunk alky father aren't our faults, okay? We didn't do anything wrong. You're a wonderful person who just happens to have a mother who would fuck a banana just to smell like an old car air freshener.
God damn.
Fred was wiping down the bar as Demi and Chickpea were making friendship bracelets in one of the booths. Above them, an Aussie ball was showing the early morning news. The early morning shamble is really going to get in the way of the city's sanitation crews. The mayor himself made an announcement last week as Trash Day has now been moved to Moon's Day from its previous day of, quote, whenever the fuck, who cares, maybe it's never, end quote.
Good system.
Look at all these drunks, Demi said, almost impressed. Ha, yeah, reminds me of college, Chickpea said, holding up a beaded bracelet. You went to college? Demi asked as her ears perked up. Oh, yeah. As far as my parents are concerned, sure, Chick said. I mostly used a mirror image of myself to record the lectures and take tests and do the homework. I, the real me, handled, like, the partying and the drinking and the sex and the drugs. Nice, Demi said, high-fiving Chick.
Fuck yeah.
Gunk shuffled around looking for anything to cover his long dong schlonger. As he could see, all he could see were other shamblers just like him. Some were puking, others were crying, and others were crying and puking. This is not a good look, Gunk said to himself. He needed to call a puber and fast. Out of the corner of his eye, a glint of something shiny hit him. He squinted and raised his hand to block the bright magnificence. There, in all its glory, was an all-sea booth. Thank Titania, he said, and made his way over to this once abundant public service. As he entered, he let out a small sigh of relief. What little privacy this glass booth offered was a welcome change to Gunk just hanging dong outdoors like he was at Woodcock 99.
Damn.
The small crystal-filled mana ball raised itself from its pedestal as soon as he entered. It glowed a blue glow to show its readiness to make a magical call through space and time. Gunk went to speak until he realized, who should he call? He had no one. He could call the flamingos, but wouldn't that be just what they wanted to see? Gunk, drunk and a hot mess. He was sure they'd ridicule him, and Sid would say, I told you he was a big, stupid jerk, idiot, buttface, or something dumb and stupid and mean. Gunk growled under his breath at the thought of Sid's dumb face saying those very hurtful and harsh words. Stupid peepee head, Sid, Gunk said to himself.
This is getting real.
He sighed again. The realization that he was in fact all alone hit him again. Flashes of last night electrified his brain cells. Him drinking shots, him playing bones in an alley for gold, him drinking mana straight from the Bone Car's mana tank, him playing auction roulette in the same back alley with a loaded gun somebody borrowed from a rat. Where did the rat get the gun? The night was truly a blur. He felt sorry for himself. For the first time in a long time, he let himself feel all his pain for it to only be heightened by the weakened state the pure poison he had ingested last night was inflicting upon his physical and mental brain. He missed Axe. Did he love her? Was she still alive? Bring, bring. The all-see ball old-timey rang loudly within the booth. I guess it'd be like the future then. I don't know. Gunk shot a surprised look at the ball as it glowed frantically, indicating a call was indeed coming through. With a puzzled look, he slowly reached out and tapped the ball to answer the call. An image slowly fizzled into focus. A skeleton in a cowboy hat.
Of course.
Hello? Gunk answered. Mr. Gunk, a raspy skeletal voice replied from within the skeleton's fleshless jaw. Yes? Gunk said, surprised. I see you had yourself quite a night, the skeleton went on. I hate to catch you like this with your pants down, but... The skeletal image peered down at Gunk's naked schlonger and back up again. Well, too late for that, I guess. Who are you? Gunk said, trying to cover up his ding-donger. Sorry, it's important.
Get it right.
Editors
You always
note.
ruin the story.
Sorry, I'll try harder next week. Or not.
Not.
Place your bets now, everybody.
The name's Machine Staff Skelly, the skeleton said with a skeletal smile. And you're going to do what I say, without question or hesitation, or else. Gunk laughed. Look, pal, I don't know who you think you are, but I clearly don't have any money or anything of value, except my swinging hog. So if you please, I have had a rough morning as it is. Take a look across the street, Mr. Gunk, Skelly said. There, across the street, through the throngs of shamblers and busy workers, Gunk could see a young Lizardonian mother pushing a carriage carrying her newborn egg. Gunk squinted to see her clearly, but as he did, a brilliant blue bolt of lightning shot down from above and struck her. She collapsed onto the sidewalk and began to writhe in pain. As onlookers stopped to help, she began to disintegrate from the inside out. Her flesh boiled and blood gleeded from her tear ducts as the heat of the lightning burned every bit of her, only leaving a stain of a shadow on the sidewalk. Gunk watched in horror as the young Lizardonian turned into dust in front of him. Her stroller now rolled unassisted down the street, where it teetered to a slow roll at the top of a set of a huge stone stairs, probably for like a bank or something.
My baby!
Gunk reached out with his hand inside the booth as it hit the glass, as if he could somehow or some way stop the stroller from falling down the stairs. In slow motion, and in black and white for some reason, Gunk watched as the stroller toppled down the stairs, hitting almost every step along the way. It jerked back and forth, remaining upright until it hit the bottom stairs, finally flipping over. The egg shot forth from the bassinet and sailed through the air in even slower motion and somehow even more black and white.
Fucking hell, it's like a Zack Schneider film.
Turn up the contrast. Holy shit.
The tint is off. Gunk gasped as the egg fell onto the stone ground, shattering on impact. Inside, sprockets and gears and springs all sprang forth as the cartoony boing sound echoed through the plaza. Oh, thank God, Gunk said. It was just one of those home ec fake eggs that teach kids how to be bad parents. Machine Staff Kelly lowered his staff rifle and laughed slowly. You are going to do what I say now, right? He asked, already knowing the answer.
What do you want? I just got Machine Staff Kelly. I'm not sure why it took me that long.
Probably because it's too good. I would say because it's too good, not because it's dumb as shit. What do you want, Dick for bones? Skunk shot back angrily. The girl, the little time traveler girl, Skelly said. You're going to call her and tell her to meet you here. Demi? Gunk said, thinking through the fog of his hangover. But why? What do you want with her? What are you going to do to her? He yelled. Don't make me turn that nice young elf maiden into a chair or something, Skelly said, raising his staff rifle to his shoulder. You don't know what the staff rifle will do when you shoot it? Gunk asked, trying to buy time.
Play dumb.
The magic is the surprise, Skelly said, almost proudly. I mean, but wouldn't it be more useful if you could, pick the type of spell it shot out? Gunk pressed. Look, Skelly said, terrorism is an art. If I don't even know what the staff is going to do, then how is anyone else going to know, thus producing more terror and more results for me, Machine Staff Skelly? Gunk rolled his eyes. In 5 seconds, that elf is going to have a really bad Moon's Day morning, Skelly said, beginning the countdown. Fine, Gunk said. He hung up the all-sea call and began to dial the Flamingo's HQ astral location. Kids these days don't even know how we used to have to remember all 57 astral coordinates of these all-sea ball numbers. He grumbled boomerly. Ring, ring. Hello? Chickpea answered the all-sea ball. Chick! Gunk yelled. Is Demi there? Yeah, sure, she's right here. Chick paused. Are you naked? Yes. No, I mean, sort of, Gunk semi-admitted. Nice, Chick said as she tried to peer downward into the all-sea ball, as if her change of perspective would change the perspective of the data the ball was transmitting. Chick! Gunk shouted. Right, she's right here, Chick said, turning the ball towards Demi. Gunkle Gunk! Demi said cheerily, still beating a bracelet. Demi, look, I need you to, bring me some clothes and my all-sea ball from my room. Okay, Demi said, already getting up to be helpful. Wait, Gunk stopped himself. He rubbed the bridge of his nose, trying to think and maybe relieve the 5-alarm hangover migraine he had. Oh, would you look at that? I found my all-sea ball. Turns out I'm using it to call you. Duh, he lied badly. Okay, Demi said and continued to bead. Put Chick back on, please. Okay, Demi said, replied, spinning the ball around. Chick, the Angels are in the outfield. Do you understand? He yelled. What? She replied, still beating. Code Mambo number 5. Stop or my mom will shoot. The steak fries are out of the frying pan and into the incinerator. Red team go. Red team is a go, he yelled into the ball as it suddenly went dark. Chick, he yelled. He frantically tried to call her back, but out of the corner of his eye, he saw a bright red flash where the young elf maiden had been standing, was now a writhing red mucousy horror. People gagged and gasped as they tried to avoid this new abomination. It pulsated a few times in the sunlight as its red flesh began to burn. From within slithered out an amphibious nightmare that looked like it only had been in the creepy crawler oven for a minute or two and didn't have time to solidify. As it slid out of its cocoon, it flipped onto its back and crab walked into the distance. Ugh. Jesus, Gunk said in disgust. The all-sea ball rang again, and Gunk answered. Do I have your attention now, Mr. Gunk? Skelly said matter-of-factly. It appears some sort of Here we go. Sorry, new voice. It appears some sort of etheric horror has been birthed into our reality, causing major disruptions to traffic from 7th all the way up to 14th Street, Trevor Thistleman said. Who was that? Sid asked as he peered around the corner of the bar. It was Gonk, Chick replied. He was still on his bender, and I think he may have been hallucinating on turpentine fumes. He was reciting titles from a bunch of old All-C movies and was talking in code like he was in Vietnam or something.
Vietnam.
No.
Wow.
Sid's eyes squinted as he rubbed his chin. He said. I can't call her here, Gunk said to the skeleton. That's a shame, Skelly said. Now I'll just have to kill you and everyone else on this street. No, wait, Gunk protested. Then there was a tap on the glass of the booth. Come on, man, a troll pimp said, looking at his watch sarcastically. You've been in that thing for like 4 pages now, dog. Come on, baby, leave this naked dwarf alone. He smells like bad decisions, said one of the orc prostitutes. I need to call my mom, the pimp shot back. It's her birthday. A second gnome prostitute pulled out her all-seal ball and began to scroll through Sinstagram. Use hers, Gunk shouted through the glass. Call my mama from a prostitute's all-sea ball? My mother is a classy fine lady, as only a classy fine lady could have birthed a classy fine pimp like myself, a pimp named Click-Clack.
Oh, my God.
Shut it off.
Oh, damn. Wow.
Sweetie baby, let's just go, the orc prostitute said again. Nah, we're gonna solve this right now, the pimp said as he began to break the glass of the booth. Suddenly, a green bolt of magic shot from above and struck the pimp. He too fell silently to the ground. As he hit the pavement, 4 wooden legs struck the ground simultaneously. He had been baffled. Oh my, the orc prostitute said as she fainted at the sight. The gnome prostitute insisted the whole thing as she blew a bubble of her gum. Then, for some reason, the chair began to whinny like a horse and galloped away. That's new, Gunk said to himself. The all-sea ball rang again, and Skelly was there lowering his staff rifle. By this time, the paladins began to show up in droves. Sirens and bells rang as they dropped their donuts and stopped harassing innocent people for no reason, just for a taste of some actual action. It appears that the PODs are now on the scene as we go live to Trent Thistlesham, who is at the scene of what we here at DNN are calling the Booth Butcher Murders TM Do Not Steal, the news lady said. Yes, Sandra, I'm here where it appears the PODs are gathering in force around this deadly killer who has stupidly locked himself into a clear, easily visible, and destructible all-sea booth. The paladins have set up cordons and have brought their new popcorn machine with its flashing sirens and are enjoying popcorn while this tragic event unfolds. I asked if they plan on helping at all, but their spokesman just simply laughed and said, quote, yeah, get in there, do something. Yeah, right, dude. I'm a cop, not actually someone who does anything to help anyone, end quote.
An APAB.
They have, however, begun to bet on who the next victim would be, and so far I can report that nobody has won the pool. Sandra? Wild stuff from the Walk of Shame Boulevard, Sandra said. Chickpea and Demi looked at each other slowly, and then over to Sid, who was watching the news unfold. Fucking fine, Sid said as he grabbed his daggers and socks and left the bar. Atop a high rooftop, machine staff Skelly, TM, do not steal, was using a burner ball to make a secretive call. Master, I have found the dwarf, but he refuses to bring me the girl. Full frontal assault on the flamingos unadvised. They have a 9-foot-tall cat made out of muscles. Repeat, 9-foot-tall cat. Very huge. I'm gonna need more time. Over. Sid slinked forward and out of the shadows as he twirled his dagger around, all cool like, doing flips and tricks and shit. It was sick as fuck. Well, if it isn't machine cum smelly, Sid said, putting away his position.
Wow. Don't.
Well, if it ain't Sid the... Well, it was scundered. Well, if it ain't Sid the cool guy, but he also sucks, and my dad can beat up his dad. Shut up, Skelly said, frustrated. What do you want with the girl? Sid got to the point. It's about time, if you ask me, the narrator, and not Josh at all. What do you care, Skelly said. She's a nobody to you. She technically doesn't even exist yet. She's not from here. She's not even from this dimension. Sid didn't quite understand the stupid words Skelly was blorking out of his speech hole, but it didn't matter. He wasn't going to let anything happen to Demi. She was just a kid, and she liked cool stuff like stealing and knives, but she was also smart and kind. No dice, Smelly, Sid said, readying himself. You gotta know where to go. Skelly looked back over the edge of the building. It was a good 50 stories high. The wind whistled through his eye sockets as he peered down into the street below. You forget, skid mark, Skelly said. I'm already dead. If I jump, my bones will just crumble into a pile, and after a few seconds, they'll reconstitute themselves like in a video game. And I'll just run away. Shit, Sid said to himself. He had a point. That was textbook Skeleman anatomy. Well, it's been fun, sudden infant death syndrome, but time to fly, Skelly said. Damn. As he turned to take the plunge, Sid grabbed another weapon, his grappling hook. Sid spun it around a few times and let it fly. Just as Skelly had jumped, he turned around to give Sid the double bird, but as he did, the hook hit him in the left eye and grappled him firm. As his body fell, the weight of his bones snapped his neck from his head. His bony body fell down to the street, where they indeed landed into a neat pile, only to reconstruct a few seconds later and run off.
Man knows Mario.
Sid pulled the grappling hook firmly back, and Skelly's head landed cleanly into his hands. You fuck, Skelly said. I'll kill you for this. That's my favorite body. How am I supposed to walk around the park now, you asshole? Fred and Chickpea burst forth from a stairwell onto the roof. Out of breath, they stood and saw Sid holding a talking, cursing skull. Smart thing bringing that jar to keep this guy's head in, Sid said to Fred, who had a gallon of mayonnaise in his hands. Yes, that is why I brought this, Fred said, side-eyeing Chick. He then licked some hot mayo from his beard. Do not put me in there, Skelly yelled. Don't you dare! Skelly's skull sank down into the hot mayo, where he could safely be transported and interrogated later. Down on the street, Mayor Pizza was already giving a presser about the day's events. Thanks to the heroic actions of our own, the Flamingos, today's tragic events have come to an end. Mr. Gunk was just an innocent victim in all of this, who was, again, rescued by the amazing heroics of Sid the Rogue, leader of the Flamingos. Everyone cheer for Sid and the Flamingos! The crowd cheered as Gunk snarled. He was naked and humiliated. He slunk back into an alley and began to punch the air and dance fight away his feelings. Or maybe he would just find a nice tavern to drink away his problems. To be continued.
Oh my god, alcoholism.
That was great, dude.
It's funny when it's not you. Thanks.
Somebody has watched the film Phone Booth.
Phone Booth recently.
I was thinking about the Phone Booth.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, man, that movie's pretty good. I'll steal it.
It made a great story.
I was thinking Die Hard 3 a little bit, too.
Little Die Hard, yeah.
I don't want to think about sinking into hot mayo.
Yeah, it's the worst part of the story.
Let's take a second and think about the...
Yeah, I mean, unless you use it to moisturize, you know?
Oh my god, why would you say that?
Well, I'm talking about Rich. Not me.
Oh.
Not me.
I have wonderful, youthful skin. I don't even need to moisturize. I'm not certainly not like a crypt keeper at all.
I've seen him.
Accidentally when my camera turns on.
Yeah.
It doesn't count if I'm moisturizing your skin
with your hot mayo.
Oh.
Sorry, Jeff. I got there a minute before you.
My New England man chowder.
This is a bad podcast, I think.
I think that's why we don't get reviews.
Or people sign up to the Amazon
Audible.
service. Yeah, it was great, Josh. Well done.
Thanks.
I loved all the puns.
Audibletrial.com/storylords.
I will get to it, Jeff. Don't fucking worry.
It
We'll
was
get
at the
to
beginning.
it. We'll get to it again.
Vietnam is
Vietnam was
fucking
good.
hilarious.
so good, so fucking fantastic.
I was like, no, there's got to be a better one than that, and then I just left it in, and so I'm glad I did. I'm glad my laziness prevailed.
It's
again.
so funny,
See?
dude.
So good. Machine Staff Kelly.
Skelly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So good.
So good.
So fucking good. I love Gunk. He's man.
He's going through a tough time, man. I'm feeling for him right now. He's going through a really tough
yeah.
time.
No,
It's his
he
own.
doesn't know where he belongs.
It's his own ego, man. Like
He's got to have that ego, Jeff.
if he would just like accept the Flamingo's friendship and stop butting heads with Sid so much.
Yeah, but
he
he's
could
lost.
have
creates
his redemption
drama,
arc.
Jeff.
He's
We
lost
need
his
drama.
love. He lost his love, but he doesn't even.
he doesn't have anything.
Yeah,
He
It's
doesn't
tough,
even have
man.
his
Doesn't have his
hands
friend?
anymore.
That's true.
Yeah, he might need
He
to
doesn't
cover
even
up.
have- I mean, I guess not. No one seems to really
Yeah,
care.
it didn't
about
seem
that.
to
True.
matter all that much.
Yeah, unless it's cold, maybe. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
if he's happy, he's happy. I mean,
I don't think he is, Greg.
Yeah, he's not really happy.
If he's
but-
unhappy, if he's happy being unhappy, let him
yeah,
be.
yeah. He's got to go through. It's an ebb and flow here.
Yeah. I don't mean there's maybe some real life
No.
inspiration.
No.
I don't know.
Who's to say? Who could
Who's to say?
Possibly. There's no one here that could say for sure.
Only,
So we just have
if
to
only
leave it
he
at
had a footstool.
My footstool is here, and I'm doing the podcast. That's how much I love you. My footstool is here in the building, and I'm not going to go get it.
That's true love.
I'll go get it. Hold on,
But that-
wait.
wait.
Just give me a couple hours. I'll be
We
there.
can't.
2
We
hours.
can take a break right now, and you can go get it.
Okay, cool. Let's do that.
All right, we'll take a break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back for part 2. Peeps, how were you? Did you get a footstool in the break? Did you? Did you? Well, Josh did, so fuck you.
did.
Raise your hand if
Damn.
you're an owner of a footstool. I bet none of you did. Fuck you.
He's right.
I'm sad.
Never again will he get pins and needles in his feet.
I do
Maybe.
this thing where I sit on my feet.
Well, that's what I was thinking you got it for.
I do that too sometimes.
You're like
I
a
do that
cat.
a lot. It's weird.
I don't do it because I get cramp in the back of my thighs otherwise.
I get a cramp in my right foot. Hey, my stool fell over. That was the cat knocking me.
Wow.
He just got that
it. It's
stool!
Just as excited.
Already
my
catastrophically failed.
If you break the stool, you're going outside.
Oh, don't look at him like that. You're not going outside.
He wouldn't last 2 seconds. He'd be like, what?
Where's the guy giving me food?
Where's the litter box?
It's Greg reading next. He's reading a little story that he's done himself, and we're so proud of him.
I did it all by myself, guys. I did it all by myself.
Here we go. Little Greggy's second story of the season. Not the 60th like ours, so he's still got some creativity in his bones and some love for the audience. Go,
Well,
This is a bitter ass entry.
hate to drop the bomb on you, Rich, but okay. All right.
Now you're story lord.
Now I'm a true lord.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. My story is called The Race of a Lifetime.
Ooh. Nice.
Is there a phone booth in this? I hope so.
Maybe. It was just another day on Nebunon 5 as its two suns began to set, bathing the barren dirt landscape below in an array of golden hues.
Praise Titania.
A weird-ass bird thing with two heads squawked discordantly in the sky as a lizard writhed onto a rock with stalk-like spines and skin so awkwardly stretched across its body it looked like modern-day Iggy Pop. Don't look it up. I warned you. Okay, well, You did it. Well, I warned you. Now you have to go to bed with that in your mind. Or maybe that's not a bad thing for you, you buck nasty horn dog. You do you, baby. This is a judge-free zone.
Iggy Pop 2025.
I mean, I've seen him within the last 2 years because he was supporting the Foo Fighters.
Top 10 Iggy Pop pictures to masturbate to at night.
Download that one, put it in the folder.
I mean,
I've been changed forever, so.
He has still got a great voice, though.
Yeah.
Hey, you can't knock that. That's true.
Still a good performer.
Can't have it all.
Yep. Just like us. Somewhere off in the distance of the scorched plain sat a glinting hull of blue steel. It was sleek in design, flanked on either side by two jutting struts that came out to a point. Kind of like my dick on your mom last Friday night. Yeah, we already got there. If you don't like it, you might have to swallow your pride and skip ahead. Kind of like I told your mom. Except she was swallowing something else. Alex, what is my jizz? Ding, ding, ding.
Now we're on Jizz Pretty?
He calls it his pride.
Some people can have it all.
Yeah.
The chassis set atop 4 oversized tires, 2 in the center and 2 on the sides. If I could just get this belt on, then we'll be in business shit. Vert Blandar exclaimed as the socket from his torque wrench popped off and rolled away to meet a canvas shoe. His arms splayed out across the ground in defeat, meeting the coarse dirt with a dull thud. He exhaled, rubbing the grease from his brow. Ducking to meet his dull maroon eyes were a set of teal-colored familiar ones. Kira, Vert's wife, took a red handkerchief lying beside him and rubbed the black smudge from his face that he just made worse. You've been saying that for the last couple weeks, she started reluctantly. You're out here all night, wake up exhausted, run to work in the data mines. Ugh, the data mines, Vert shuddered. You come home, eat, you're half asleep for any time we all get to spend together, and then rinse and repeat. She leaned over, her long purple hair framing her face. He could see now her dour expression as her head blocked out the remaining light. I'm so close to being done. The camshaft's almost there. All the sensors are updated. We just need to equip the console with... He stopped. You're right. I'm doing the thing, getting hyperfixated. We put a lot into this, and we will finish it, promise, even if we're not picked, she said with a pursed smile as she presented the felled socket. He reached, clasping his hand into hers as she helped him up to his feet. Man, you're hot. He said as he pulled her in. Don't call me man, bro, she replied, flipping the script on his ass and pirouetting him into a dip with a smooch.
Aww.
Nice.
Let's go see Dio. Papa, look.
The guy? The Dio? The holy diver?
Who knows? Maybe,
Shit.
Maybe they love Dio.
Who doesn't?
Papa, look, a voice rang out as the metal grate, which was basically their front door, clanged behind them. A small figure in a double-buttoned peach coat scuttled up and took Vert by the hand. Look, Captain Galactic's announcing the winners, she said, leading him a few feet over to a CRT nestled within a stretch of cabinets. They all sat at a high-top table where Kira placed a few bowls of steaming noodles and gunky-looking shit down, but at least it was garnished real nice. Look, I'm trying to set up some backstory for this place. Depraved living conditions and all, What?
Ramen.
Too close to home, you say? You ate cup of noodles last night, you say? Look, I don't know what to tell you. It's 2025. Art imitates life or some shit.
The lines are blurred.
I did actually have ramen noodles last night. So.
I thought I might catch somebody in that one, so
It's a good chance one of us did.
It's a very high chance. I did too, actually, so. As they ate, a voice cut through the static hum. On screen, a tall, stalwart, and built man stood atop a veritable stage in a helmet with an orange visor, clad in silver spandex so tight you'd be convinced this guy was tucking. He wore shiny, long rubber boots and gloves with spiked shoulder pads. And then I wrote in parentheses, flamboyant Judge Dredd? Question mark?
Nice.
To give you a visual.
Wait, so just Judge Dredd? Okay.
Pretty much, yeah. My fellow Galacticans, a voice boomed out over a crowd of various denizens. There were dog people, cat people, some weird bug people with pincers for mouths, a fish guy, a guy selling fish sticks, a dude that was like a reverse MODOK. Hell, there were even some humans there.
What's a reverse
How do you make a reverse mode on?
Real
guy
big body
with a
and a tiny little head.
Nice.
So like the dinosaurs from fucking Super Mario Bros. Movie. You know?
Right, there
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah. Everyone cheered vehemently. We will now announce the winners of the raffle for Galacticon Grand Prix XXXL7 Formula One Bowl, sponsored by Baskin Robbins.
I'm glad Baskin Robbins survived the franchise wars.
Every year we run this race, and every year more people die trying to win, and you sadistic fucks love it. The crowd roared. And this year we are so happy to have Nebunon 5 as our gracious hosts. Yeah, 'cause there's nothing here, interjected Kira. Last year they totally fucked up New Earth, Vert replied.
Not again.
Not again. And our pool of contestants is bigger than ever before. With a jackpot of $7 billion and or various other prizes, what's not to love? Are you ready? The crowd ignited. You could see a dog man already betting with a squid man before anyone was even chosen.
What are they betting on?
So, let's go ahead and choose your contestants this year, shall we? He reached into one of those little metal bingo ball spinners. First we have, he pulled out a ticket, the dastardly desperado himself, Yerb Tug. An ID card appeared on the TV of a fat-cheeked fish man in a wide-brim cowboy hat.
I'm betting everything on him.
I know who I'm betting for.
Second, we have Roxy the Rockclops. A one-eyed, large-mouthed golem woman wearing garish makeup and a Betty Crocker-ass dress appeared on screen.
So she's made of rocks, not the eye is made of a rock.
Yes.
She's a rock clops.
Yep.
Okay, not
Exactly.
Klopp's rock. Right, okay, got it.
Not a
Yeah,
clop
changing my
strike. No.
Yeah.
You don't want to get them mixed up. That's offensive as fuck.
Rich?
I mean, they all look the same to me.
Wow!
Look at this
Fucking
guy.
one-eyed
It's a
freaks.
real spoonhead ass opinion you've got there.
Look, I've got 4 eyes.
fine.
They haven't even got 2.
Wow.
Where was I? Oh, there we are.
You're about to
You were
send
telling
Rich
a
to
story.
sensitivity training today.
Third is, oh, this is good, the Flathead Twins. A picture shown of what looked like 2 metal automatons back to back in mechanic jumpsuits with heads like flathead screwdrivers appeared.
It's convenient.
Let's see. Next we have, don't know this guy, Vert Blandar, he said, minorly perplexed.
Yay!
We fucking
Bland up,
got
Bland
it! Yelled Vert. After that, Pelon Busk. Everyone in the crowd audibly groaned and booed as a picture of a pasty, small-nosed, ugly fuck human appeared on screen. Dio threw her remaining noodles at the TV and flicked it off. And last but certainly not least is yours truly, the reigning 33rd champ, Captain Galactic. The crowd picked back up into a feverish roar. You know the drill, cheap thrills for the whole family. And come on down and get your deep fried ice cream on the sidelines. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Ka-cha! He proceeded to roundhouse kick the bingo cage clean into the air while doing a backflip.
He's Lightning McQueen, but as a guy.
Pretty
I
much.
fucking love this guy.
Damn, that guy's got moves, Vert said. The crowd reached a deafening volume, drowning out the sound of that dog man getting sniped in the head for totally botching an impulsive bet.
Hey,
Rest
he
in
did it.
peace. As evening gave way to night, Vert and Kira sat nestled together on the couch, looking over a sleeping Dio with her race car toys. I believe in you, but please don't die, Kira said, hugging him. Hell, if I do, maybe the propulsion of the explosion will at least get me over the finish line. We'll tie a rope and pull. The two chuckled sat looking at Dio. For her, he said. For her, she replied. Cut 2! Yeah, I stole Josh's transition. Sue me. Wait, what? You are? You copyrighted that already?
We're really litigious on this show.
Hello, Morty. Yeah, this is Josh again. Someone say my shit again.
And you want the rights to this story? And you're gonna use it on a podcast where you're the only host and you read stories all alone? And you think that's a good idea? Yeah, okay, buddy. Anyway, cut 2 weeks later.
What an outlandish thing that would never happen in real life.
I mean, no one's that dumb. No one is that dumb, surely.
All right, Kira said, pulling the lapels on Vert's leather jacket. You show him what we're made of on this dusty-ass planet. We'll see you at the starting line, she said. Here, Daddy, this will give you more riz for when you're on the TV, Dio said, reaching up with a wide grin as she handed Vert his stained paisley red handkerchief. Aw, thanks, honey, he said, tucking it into his front chest pocket. But please don't ever say riz again. It's one of the stupidest fucking words. Yeah. Mommy and Daddy have tried very hard to teach you how to read and write. Don't debase yourself, he said with a smile. Okay, she replied, still grinning, eyes shut. He hugged his family once more, opened the hatch, and fired up the engine. The roar sent vibrations throughout everything nearby. Their living cage thing, some weird spindly trees, those rocks I described earlier, hell, even your mom. He pulled his goggles from over his wavy pale blue hair and gestured, closed the translucent yellow hatch, and started blasting Soldier by Destiny's Child.
The classics.
I was in a type of mood when I was writing this, let me tell you.
Hell yeah. I'm here for it.
As he rolled up on the starting line, he ran to check in, where he punched his ticket, signed a no-holds liability contract along with a WCD, or a we can dump clause, which basically meant they could toss his body wherever post-mortem, and got a commemorative Tootsie Roll for doing so.
This picture isn't so bad.
Yeah, right? He opened the wrapper and popped back the candy. Ugh, it's fucking hard, he said, spinning it onto the ground. Not so great, Josh, I know. Yo, a piercing voice fired at him. Watch where you going, asshole. It was Yerb Tug. His ill-fitting duster consumed his lanky body with a 10-gallon hat affixed atop a fishbowl filled with water that splashed out as he moved.
That's so good.
That's so good, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. No, you look out of my way, he said, shoving his finger into Vert's chest for emphasis. Ow, Yerbturg cried, clutching his finger after poking. All right, whatever. See you on the track, flesh bag. Man, that guy's fucking weird, Vert muttered. He watched as he jumped into a submarine on wheels that was, in fact, filled with water inside.
What the fuck?
A reverse submarine.
A reverse submarine. On either end of the racetrack were enormous jumbotrons broadcasting images from camera operators all around. As Vert scanned the competition, he clocked the Flathead twins, their metal domes inserted into some hovercraft-type contraption, looking kind of like a V-22 Osprey. Yes, I had to look this up. Hopefully Josh knows what that is.
Yeah, I know what that is. They crash a lot.
Foreshadowing, maybe? Roxy was there, who drove an 18-wheeler with flames on the sides. Pelon, who had some polygonal ugly piece of shit. And Captain Galactic, who drove a speed racer-ass looking car. It had an incredibly elongated nose and a short rounded back. It was painted a brilliant pearl white with gold stripes all across it. Ladies flocked on either side, and so did men. And so did non-binary aliens, who all had their nips out so he could sign them. Captain Galactic was eating that shit right up. The dude was a freak. Somewhere in the distance, Nasty by Tinashe started playing. The excitement became palpable as the racers began to rev their engines. Flames shot out the back of the captain's exhausts. A dog man honoring his lost friend actually caught on fire and died that day.
God, dogmen are really getting it this episode.
The The Squid Mafia collected his ashes and proceeded to beat them with a baseball bat. That's how you stop them from coming back as ghosts. Or at least that's what they thought.
Seems as good as anything,
It's an
really.
educational program.
A massive traffic light sat miles ahead, lying in wait to signal the start. Vert clutched his steering wheel, which was one of those cool ones where it's not fully circular, but is only just grips on either side.
Like a Knight Rider.
Yeah, that kind. That was written in the story. Yes.
Hell yeah!
He took out his handkerchief to wipe the sweat forming on his brow. As it unfurled, one of Dio's little toy cars fell right into his palm. He smiled, somewhat relieved, and embedded it into the shifter as he clasped the hold tightly. His eyes narrowed. Beep! The crowd fell from a murmur to a dead silence. Beep! The stale air hung heavy, while all at once it felt as if everyone held their collective breath in that torrid wasteland for only but a second. Beep! A massive explosion erupted as Pelon's vehicle combusted into a million pieces. His mangled body jettisoned to clandestine locations on the planet where middle-class wolf people would eat it for fun.
This is the best story I've ever heard.
Oh no, not my Nazi mobile.
Oh,
Like a 100 out of 10 story. This is so good.
this is great.
The rest of the racers took off at Mach speed, flying down a track that was woven into the land's topography, spanning colossal mountains, gapingly large basins, and jaw-dropping cliffs. Ah, reminds me of your mom.
Gaping.
It's your announcers Cobb, Bowl, and Durberson giving you the play-by-play for this year's Grand Prix.
What a great voice.
EDM music started blasting over the speakers. It's set to be a memorable one as the Flathead Twins have the people's choice as the underdog this year. Yes, that is correct, Cobb, and I'm getting word that Pelon has officially been killed. Some say there could be foul play at hand, but no one cares. In a recent poll, an overwhelming 100% of people were happy to see it happen. Also, I just took an edible, and that shit gonna fuck me up. That's amazing, Durr. It looks like Captain Galactic is leading the charge. Damn, these guys are good, Vert thought, trying to keep up with every zigzagging turn. I need to be smart about using nitros. Only when, just then, his car was pummeled by a barrage of bullets. The fuck? He yelled. As he looked on his dashboard, he saw Roxy with mounted machine guns from atop her big rig speeding up beside him. They are really going for this shit already? All right, you nasty biznatch, eat this. He pressed a button which released spike-like jacks from beneath his car. Roxy's truck barreled past them, a few of her tires getting struck, but with their sheer girth and size, was hardly making a dent. What's that? We hit the Yo Mama joke cap already? Damn. All right. Guess I gotta actually write a story now. Whatever.
He gets it.
Welcome to Story Lords.
You got try harder than that, lover boy, she taunted over the radio. As she passed him, he could clearly see her crag-filled ass mooning him from the window. Son of a... His right wing side was hit. A wobbly submarine was fast approaching, throwing explosives toward him. He streaked to the right side and let off the gas so that the fish fucker would pass him. Ain't shit, Yerby sneered over the radio. I'm gonna fry your... Vert began, but before he could finish, emergency lights flashed as smoke billowed out the side. His vehicle was careening hard after that impact. Damn it, I need some help, a voice interrupted. Kira hurtled over the back seat next to him. How the hell did you get in here? Snuck in at the starting line while you were out. Kira placed a hand on his. You're driving, I'm shooting. I put these guns in here after all. He was silent for a few seconds as the vehicle rocked turbulently up and down. He gripped the
Family
wheel.
that slays together stays together.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And that's true love, baby. He gripped the wheel. All right, time to make some fish fillet, Vert said, closing the distance. Kira shrugged. We'll work on it. She lined up her shot, held her breath, and pulled the trigger. Bop, 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 bop. Oh, shit! Yerby yelled from inside his car. The bombs on board started exploding as the whole back hull of the submarine was blown wide open. Damn, really? No more your mama jokes? Fine. It looks like the Desperado's been immobilized by the newcomer, Vert Blandar. What do you think, Der? Well, I think that I need some more mayo on this sub, Cobb. Der, that's not a sub, that's my foot. My bad.
It's hot mayo.
Damn, even the mayo is here. Shit.
Damn.
We were connected. So these chuckle fucks think they can keep up. We'll see about that, Captain Galactic taunted as he shifted gears. How about a little nitro? He gripped a lever as an IV hooked into his arm. When pulled, a blue liquid coursed through both machine and man. He hit top speed so intense his nose began to bleed. Suckers! He yelled.
This dude is juicing himself and his car.
I love it.
Just then, the Flathead twins began to spin wildly as their craft took flight. Let's fucking go, they said in turn with one another. They pulled their limbs in tightly as the rate at which they spun increased exponentially. Only a few miles back, Vert could see as they took off toward Captain Galactic. Do you think we can reach them? He said. I can sure as shit try, Kira replied, but we need to close the distance. Wait, stop, she yelled. Right in front of them was Roxy's truck, slamming on her brakes. Vert swerved haphazardly before clipping his left side and popping the axle out of place. The wheels shook uncontrollably. Vert, I've got an idea. Yeah? Remember that time we rented a motorcycle for Motorcycling in the Park Day? Yeah, people were not prepared for that event. They really should have kept small animals and babies off the sidewalks, he said. Remember?
This feature's all right.
Remember you said you always wanted one? He reflected for a moment. Damn. All right, let's do this. He shifted gears to slow down. He then positioned right behind her trailer where his car was just low enough to clear it. However, the wing struts were not. The sound of rubber and metal grinding against one another screeched until finally the struts broke off completely. It was heartbreaking for him, but also kind of sick, because now the car looked more like an oversized Tron bike, you know?
Yeah.
Sick.
Just then, Vert popped a nitrous as Kira started to shoot the undercarriage, puncturing Roxy's oil pan amongst a bunch of other integral car shit. Transmission, gasket, engine. This time, as they passed, Vert mooned his own butt crack at Roxy, who for some reason was now more turned on. The couple celebrated. We did it! Yay! A little voice chimed in. Both stopped and turned to face Dio, purple-haired, disheveled, cheering along with them. Okay, no, said Vert. Kira almost threw up. But Daddy, I saw Mommy jump in, and I thought, that was my cue?
She's not wrong.
I did not encourage this, Kira remarked. As the couple argued, Dio looked up through the hatch. Right above them, the Flathead twins were closing in, a railgun poised directly at them. Dio quickly ran up and hit the nitros as the trio went flying ahead before a blast put a small crater where they were. How did you, began Vert. I remembered the colors, Dio answered. We survive right now. We'll talk about this in a minute, said Kira, guns blasting at the helicopter twins. We've only got 10 miles left. And 3 can... Okay, I fucked this sentence up.
That's all right.
That is welcome to
That
Story
is the
Lord.
first time
Welcome
that's
to
ever
Story
happened on Story
Lord.
Lord.
I didn't do it twice in the last story.
Man, we know who won't be getting a third guest spot.
No.
I hope it's Josh.
We've only got 10 miles left and 3 contestants, Durr. I think they might give Captain a run for his money. Durr? Durr was watching ViewTube videos eating a bag of pork rinds. He was checked out. Probably like most of you listeners at this point. So let's speed this shit up. The 3 finalists were neck and neck in the last stretch. The racetrack had evened out now, leading out and up into a high slope where the finish line resided. All right, "You shits. No one is going to make me look bad at my own game," said the captain as his exhaust turned into a flamethrower. The twins quickly flew high, but some of their pants caught on fire while the Blandars dipped to and fro from side to side. "Okay, we've got one nitro left," said Vert. "If we pit these two numbskulls against each other, we might just have time to get ahead and pop it." The Flathead twins' helicopter began to burn bright red. They had spun so fast for so long that their bodies could not take it anymore. They combusted as nuts and bolts pummeled the ground and the other racers' cars. Some automatons watching began to hurl motor oil. It was now down to 2. Captain Galactic's hot rod and Vert's motorcycle collided, sending them reeling as Kira clutched onto Dio. Bullets began to fly from the captain's car, piercing and cracking their hatch as they all ducked for cover. "We've got a kid in here," yelled Vert. "Good," Galactic yelled back, "so they can die with you, and then all the money's mine."
Wow.
Captain Galactic began to push slightly ahead. "Hold on," Vert proclaimed. Just then, he hit a sick Mario Kart move where you kind of drive up the sides of the course for a second, and then you get a boost, you know?
You gotta wiggle the stick.
Gotta wiggle it.
Go wiggle your stick.
Yeah, do it. I dare you. I hate it.
It's called snaking.
You got the Ottoman, so you should be comfortable now, Rich.
Yeah. I don't have to sit on my. I don't have to rest on my knees anymore.
I know how you hate that. He was back to being neck and neck with Captain Shithead. Galactic grinned through bloody teeth as he reached for his nitrous once more. Vert followed suit as the two inevitably hit them at the same time. "Who will win?" shouted Cobb as everyone at home sat nose to screen in anticipation. As the finish line approached, Vert could see that the dive bomb-ass nose of Captain Galactic's car was just a fraction further ahead than his. He looked down. Letting go of the shifter, he turned to Kira. "Take the wheel," he said calmly. She nodded, and with Dio, the pair clenched the wheel. Vert crawled from the now shattered hatch and out onto the front, wind wildly whipping him back. Gruelingly, he pulled himself up and over the metal lip that shielded the front tire. He reached, arm outstretched, toy car in hand.
Oh, shit!
Confetti and streamers filled the air. The crowd roared. Flames burned. People pissed in excitement. The guy selling fish sticks just paid for his kid's college.
That's a lot of fish sticks.
Captain Galactic sat tweaking, going through nitrous withdrawal. "We are here with Vert and his family," yelled Cobb. "What will you do now that you won the $7 killion?" A bruised and battered Vert pulled his sweet wife and daughter close. "Nah, fuck that," he said. "We're taking the other prize. Free healthcare for life." Just then, an old-timey photographer came up for a picture. You know, the one with the curtain on it and shit, and snapped a photo. Vert just wanted healthcare for his loved ones. Could you believe it? Finn.
Oh, man.
And that's
Great story.
And that's how you know it's a fiction, because that wouldn't be on offer.
God, that was fucking 100 out of 10, dude.
That was
ruled.
amazing.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh,
bud.
thanks, guys. Thank
Fucking
you.
sci-fi wacky racers. I love
Yep.
it so
Great.
much.
I was trying to channel, I don't know. I watched Redline not that long ago.
Oh, God.
nice.
Redline
Yeah.
rules, dude.
And Redline fucking rules, and I've just been on a fucking racer kick lately, so we went in there. So, you know,
That
try to
was so sick.
channel some flamingo energy and
Yeah.
well, you know, see what happens.
Captain Galactus he's the shit. I know he's a smackhead
Right.
and like probably a child murderer, but whatever.
But
Our
whatever.
hero also ran over puppies and babies in the park with his motorcycle.
Well, you
so-
know, that
Living's dangerous, you know?
he might have not done it himself, but you know, he might have watched.
Yeah, it was the car. It was the
witnessed it.
motorbike that did it. Technically,
Yeah, it was the motorbike that did
It's
it.
the Burrow's fault for not preparing for
True, they should have
motorcycle
zoned
That
it
is
better.
true.
They did
That
not
is
zone
very
this
true.
properly.
Honestly, it's the baby's fault. What is it doing there? You know?
Grow up. Get fucking real.
Get real.
get real, get
real.
wrecked. The fuck. I'm glad you guys liked it. It was.
I loved
It
it.
was great.
I was going
was
for
good.
zaniness. So I didn't know if I wanted to go back to that world. From my last story.
Yeah, they both were great.
Yeah.
I like this one better, I think, just because, I don't know.
I think this
It would-
is a little more my voice.
It would
Yeah,
be.
this feels
naturally.
like this feels like so original to everything else that's been on the show so far. It feels so like your voice out of everything.
Yeah.
well,
Thanks, man.
plus as well, it would be hard to go back to like your first story because it's been a while since you told
my
it,
God,
right?
yeah.
So
100%.
like, you know, it's hard to get that energy back. Like it's hard enough doing it, tapping into that vein every 2 weeks, but like doing that when it's been a year since you've been on the show, it's pretty tough, right?
It's funny because I realized that when I wrote Captain Galactic, it was just kind of like that pickle guy I wrote, but I didn't want it to be too much like him, so I was like, I have to change this a little bit.
I think they're pretty different.
I think I didn't. See
One's a
this
pickle.
trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
pickle
that is
and
fucking
one's
true.
a raging smackhead.
I expected Captain Galactic to have like the Blue Falcon F-Zero racer.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of that being channeled for sure.
I could like see the things happening in the story.
Yeah.
Like when you said that like the blue goo like went into his veins, like I saw like a real Eon Flux kind of 90s
Yeah.
veins
Yeah.
appear all over him as he gets all ripped
Hell
and
yeah.
raging.
Real close up.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good.
Well
Thanks,
done.
guys.
All right. Well, we've sucked Greg's dick enough. Time for a break. Let's.
Just a little longer, please. Just a little.
All right,
Greg
well,
might have a different opinion on that.
well, luckily they don't know how long the break is, so we can do it even more. We'll be back for part 3.
It's me, Josh. Yay! Rich ran into some problems with his part 3, so we lost it. So if you hear us laughing at nothing, just pretend that a funny ghost told us a joke, and you don't get to hear it. Because a ghost kind of did tell us a joke, because Rich is dead to me. I'm kidding. It's not his fault. It happens. He's good. I love you, Rich. For now. Enjoy!
Johnny Long's fists pounded as hard as they could against the roughshod wood surface, pressing down onto him like a coffin's lid, his skin pockmarked by jagged splinters and blackened by dirt and soot. His voice had grown hoarse from screaming, first in anger and violence at his fate, and eventually in abject fear of dying in this closed-off pit. He had come to the cellar where Madeline Brooks had been found alive and well to follow up on a nagging feeling in his gut he couldn't shake that something was wrong. What he had seen down here days ago had left him with more questions than answers, and he was the type of man who couldn't live like that. But what he had found this time had terrified him to his bone marrow, left him doubting his own sanity. And now he was trapped down here with it, whatever the fuck it actually was. And what felt like hours of screaming and pounding had gotten him nowhere, which is coincidentally how I feel after a night alone with your mother.
Thank God.
It's got you nowhere?
Getting a nut with her is as difficult as that Ice Age rat thing, trying to get that prehistoric nut while Ray Romano and John Leguizamo do their great comedy.
Hey, get the nut, you fucking idiot!
Anyway, just as Johnny had given up all hope of ever getting free, much like your father's, he could suddenly hear a sound down the tunnel. He strained to make out exactly what he was hearing and where it was coming from, turning his flashlight back down the stairs into the pit below. He was surprised to find he still had his revolver on him, tucked into his breast pocket inside his leather jacket where he'd brought it. He squinted through the dark at his own discovery. Hadn't he taken it out when he went down those old stone steps which spiraled into his nightmare? Hadn't he dropped it when he ran for his life from the apparition that had haunted him at the edge of the sea? He didn't have too much time to debate with himself before the noise became much more clear. The sound of deep, guttural, airy moaning. He shot straight up and fumbled with his light, turning it over in his hand to try and focus it at the bottom of the steps. The sound was coming from the left tunnel he had taken both times he had come down to this godforsaken place. It was following him from his nightmare. Fuck off! Johnny screamed suddenly, for some reason. His voice hoarse and painful in his throat from all the yelling he'd been doing recently. He quickly dove his hand into his breast pocket and retrieved his snub-nosed revolver, turning it towards the bottom of the stairs where his light beam was shakily dancing at the edge of the tunnels below. The voice was undeterred and grew louder, ever closer. "I've got a fucking gun!" Johnny called out, waving the pistol in the air. Still, the voice groaned its even low hum, getting closer and beginning to echo off the walls of the cellar around him. "Fuck!" Johnny hissed through gritted teeth, priming the revolver for fire by cocking back the hammer. Then the groaning stopped as suddenly as it had begun. Silence. Johnny drew back his pistol, his hands shaking as he withdrew his finger from the trigger, eyes wide in the dark. His heartbeat pounded in his ears like war drums, and his mouth hung open, voiceless. The light beam at the bottom of the stairs danced at his fear's beck and call, his fingers shaking against the flashlight's metal haft. Slowly, ever so slowly, at the edge of the light, moved a shape. From the turn into the tunnel below came a long, thin, shambling shape. Johnny tried as hard as he could to turn the gun in his hand on it, but a feeling of fear he had never experienced froze him in his place, his eyes saucer plate wide and his breath a choke of tiny, hyperventilating rasps. The thing moved with inhuman cadence, more insect than anything, but far too large. Black and inky, the thing was soaked to its core, but the fur matting down on its dark back was like nothing he had ever seen before in nature. It twisted its core, held aloft by 8 chittering, chitinous legs, turning its front up the stairs towards him.
Is this a Monster Hunter monster?
The black, formless mass in its center slowly peeled back away from it, revealing red membrane beneath an open, bleeding hole in its middle. And between them, row after row after row of gleaming yellow human teeth, gnashing against themselves and opening to heave bloody spittle and corrosive breath from deep inside the mass into the air. Johnny couldn't move. He could barely think. In his entire life, he'd never felt a fear this raw, this real. It was as if an ant suddenly felt the crushing weight of human reality for the first time in its existence. He couldn't handle the sensation that burned at him to run, while every muscle in his body refused to move. The thing drew its inky lips black away from its blood-stained human teeth, and from deep within the mass, somewhere beyond comprehension, a guttural human scream filled up the entire cellar to its breaking point.
No!
Slowly but surely, as it carried on, becoming more and more inhuman, hundreds of voices layered on top of each other and distorting like digital signal, until the horrific being went silent again, lunging its weight forward at a predator's gait, taking the steps 2 by 2 towards Johnny. Bang, 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 bang! Johnny let off round after round from his snub nose, reacting more out of sudden instinct kicking in than any direct impulse of his own. But each bullet simply disappeared into the darkness that ascended to overtake him leap by leap. Johnny's voice was a cacophony of screams and yelps and cries. Stop! Stop! What the fuck are you doing? The voice snapped Johnny's eyes open. The flashlight he held was focused on nothing below him. Several bullet holes smoldered in the wooden beams of the cellar at the end. He flung his eyes up to where the barred cellar doors had trapped him, found them flung wide open, and the night sky glittering with stars meeting his gaze. And leaning over in front of them, blocking half the night sky with his gigantic, ugly bobblehead, was Gordon G. Gordon, with a look of frightened anger on his face.
It's gigantic, ugly bobblehead night.
Gordy? Johnny managed to mumble out, feeling the adrenaline melting out of his veins all at once, pushing him towards crashing, though he fought against it. Why are you screaming like a maniac in a hole and firing your tiny dick pistol at nothing? Gordy asked.
Damn.
With what was becoming his trademark combination of genuine concern and virulent dweebish snark. It wasn't nothing, it was... Johnny looked back into the hole, clamping his mouth shut tight at the bullet holes in the wall, proving him wrong instantly. Something fucked up is going on with this Brooks case, Gordy. I don't know how to explain it, but this is all wrong. There is no Brooks case, Johnny, Gordy snapped. We solved it, remember? Madeline Brooks is at home with her family right now, probably watching America's Funniest Home Videos, starring... Gordy pulled out his phone and began to type on the screen with his thumb, incredibly quickly. Eating paste is okay. Wait, fuck, that's Google AI. Hold on. He scrolled a bit. Carlton from Fresh Prince? Really? Wow. Well, good for him. Glad he's still getting work. I just saw Madeline Brooks down there, Gordy. Whether that's real or not, something is fucked about this whole thing. I saw some real fucked up shit down there. Johnny grimaced as he pushed past Gordy and stepped out into the fresh, brisk night's air. He suddenly felt like he was becoming himself again, shedding the frightened, cornered animal he had become in that hole. He didn't realize how far he'd left himself behind in that moment. Wow, the guys at the office are right. You are losing your mind. Gordy snort laughed like Urkel, but not endearing whatsoever. So like later seasons Urkel.
Yeah.
Maybe you should cut back on praying to a bottle of Jameson and start praying to the real J-Man, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. You got 2 left in there by my count, buddy.
What? Johnny replied all at once. But he settled back and realized he would never come off as anything but a madman if he told the truth of what he just experienced. The fire in his chest was burning every breath he took, but he still had a presence of mind in that moment to decide that secrecy might save his reputation, if nothing else. Look, never mind. This has nothing to do with you. I got a little claustrophobic and freaked out. That's all. Johnny dug in his left jacket pocket and came back with a pack of cigarettes with his Bic lighter tucked into the plastic sleeve. And slid a single death stick out. He placed it in his lips, flicked the Bic to life, and pulled it up to almost touching the other end of the cig. But at the last minute, let the fire die, tucked the Bic back into the packet, shoved it into his pocket, and threw the cigarette from his mouth to the ground angrily.
No, it's waste.
Fucking hell.
I'll take that.
Those things will kill you, Gordy said, kind of put off his game from the strange behavior displayed in Johnny. It was the only thing he could think to say. Not just you, Johnny said absently. Actually, why are you here anyway? They canceled the circle jerk at the FurCon this weekend? or did you realize your dick was small even by furry incel standards and you got too shy to bust in your homie's hand?
Holy shit.
I'm not a furry, Long, Gordy said spitefully. I'm a scaly.
Oh my god. It got worse.
I don't know what the fuck that means, and I hate you, Johnny returned flatly. I came down here because I was worried you were going off the deep end. There's only so many lonely weekends microwaving fruit to fuck while watching VHS tapes of the Spice Channel in your 50s a man can go through before he needs an intervention. And I find you unloading your gun and your bowels in a hole in the woods? You should be thankful I showed up when I did. Gordy said with the inflection of someone whose feelings have obviously been hurt in the back and forth. Fuck off, Gordy. Johnny waved him away, turning and beginning the long walk across the now dark, empty, overgrown field towards his car he'd left parked by the side of the road. Like you said, there is no Brooks case anymore. That means we're not partners anymore. Not that I ever fucking wanted us to begin with. Gordy made no rebuttal. In fact, he stood silently in the middle of that field, watching Johnny disappear into the brush and distance, his arms hanging limply at his sides and his heart low. Johnny slammed the car door shut hard behind him as he slid behind the steering wheel. Instinctually, he withdrew his keys and started the car, but once the routine was over, he sat silently, his hands gripping the steering wheel and his eyes straight ahead. The light of cars going by illuminated his facial expression, changing every so often, but he made no move beyond that. Now what? He said to himself softly. Madeline Brooks had been found alive and well, without a mark on her besides some dirt and a couple scratches, in that cellar, after over a week of being missing. She didn't seem dehydrated or even that hungry, while Johnny watched the paramedics check her over. She hadn't broken any bones or even twisted her ankle, so what had kept her down there for over a week? She could have stood up and walked the fuck out at any time. She hadn't had anything to eat or drink in that entire time. No human waste was found in the cellar, yet no one he had interviewed had seen her in the entire time since her disappearance. Or at least that's what they had claimed. If she'd been down there the entire time, where could she have been for a week without anyone tattling if she wasn't down there the entire time? But the police report didn't go into any of these details. They probably had an old man to beat up with nightsticks or a brown kid to plant cocaine on instead.
Yeah.
ACAB for fucking ever.
Shit.
Never trust a pig to be anything other than bacon.
They just got those popcorn machines with sirens on them.
The family hadn't even asked any questions like this when she was returned. No one had said a word about it. All right, he said to himself. Time to do that follow-up interview with the Brooks family, I think. He gripped the shifter and popped his old jalopy into gear and pulled out onto the interstate. As he drove, he decided he would try to pretend he had never seen what he had seen in that hole. Gordy saw, from the corner of his eye, reflected at the edge of his Coke bottle lens glasses, a small glint in the underbrush. He turned, and curiosity always getting the best of him ever since he was a kid, walked the distance between where he stood next to the open cellar doors and where the glint had originated. Kneeling down into the grass, trying his best not to get any stains on his white dress pants, he reached into the overgrown weeds and brushed there. He felt something small and metallic on his fingertips and tilted his head as he removed it. He fumbled dweebishly for a flashlight, always keeping one on him to check what stains happened to be, and maybe hitting them with that little Clorox pen thing.
Fucking nerd.
Nobody would ever catch him lacking with some piss dots on his immaculate pants, especially
Piss ain't got nothing to do with it.
Especially if they weren't piss at all.
White piss.
But what the light hit in his palm wasn't something he'd ever seen before in his life. He turned it over in his hand, trying to make some sense of the shape. It was like a flattened, shiny orb, silver and blue on its reflective gem-like surface, but it had a number of small metallic tools poking out of its edges, like some kind of Swiss Army knife whose purpose he was completely unaware of. Oh wow, a clue the cops overlooked. Is this a freaky sex thing? Gordy asked himself, rubbing at his chin sagely. I sure hope so. It would be like my favorite Japanese art novel. My little sister can't be this tight.
Oh my god.
He began to yuck laugh to no one in the middle of the field at night. Thankfully, no one lived close enough to be grossed out by this as I was writing it.
Let me check to see if this is real.
It transfers through the audio waves, Jeff. I can't unhear that now.
Johnny pulled up in front of the idyllic Brooks family home in the middle of suburbia once more not long after. He slid out of his car and stood with his foot propped in the wheel well as he surveyed the street in both directions. Every light in the neighborhood was on, but nothing could be seen from any of their windows, not even a silhouette, which wouldn't have seemed strange to him any other day. Up to the stoop, to the front door he went, feeling the stink of flavorless, unspiced food wafting from within the honky's nest he stood in front of.
Classic honky nest.
He rapped 3 times on the door, the only amount of rap of any kind that would be allowed in this white-ass neighborhood that stood and waited.
That's how you know it's going to be safe.
Mr. Long? A voice came from the door as it cracked open, and a set of familiar steel gray eyes looked at him from within. Can I help you? Sorry to bother you, Mrs. Brooks, Johnny said as politely as he could muster. Do you mind if I come in and do a little exit interview with you about the case? Now that all's well that ends well, we just need to do some standard follow-up for the agency records. Mrs. Brooks looked back into the house and then turned back to Johnny. Sure, dear. We're just sitting down to dinner. Won't you join us? I'd love to, he lied. He knew how white people be cooking. Green bean casseroles and shit. No thanks.
Salt and pepper.
Cooking all like, aw.
Maybe they were secretly Italian, he hoped, as he stepped through the front door and was led towards the dining room. The scene spread out before him was picturesque for sure. Dr. Brooks sitting at the head of the table, passing mashed potatoes down the line. Mrs. Brooks sat beside him and took the bowl, spreading a small helping of them onto her plate before handing them down to the youngest Brooks sister, who he hadn't met at this point. She was maybe 15 or 16 and was wearing the most stereotypical-ass goth outfit you could possibly imagine. Like, imagine a teenage goth. You got it. That's her.
Got it. I saw one out in the wild the other day with like the Harlequin makeup and shit. Wow. It was crazy. I was like, they're back.
She looks like Chris from the Candle Cousins, but deathly unfunny and self-serious, like a troubled teen in a Hallmark film. She itched at her nose piercing as she plopped potatoes on her plate and passed them down another step. Sitting there, at the other end of the table, looking angelic with a bright white smile and perfectly coiffed hair, was Madeline Brooks. He was taken aback at that moment to see her. She hadn't seemed real to him until that moment for some reason. Just in her own natural habitat. No cops, no ambulances, no Gordy, thank God, just with her family. Mrs. Brooks had placed a chair between herself and Madeline for Johnny and had rushed to get a small plate and silverware for him while the entire room stayed silent and stared at him. He didn't have it in him after the day he'd had to feel uncomfortable, so he just waited, then took his seat silently as well. Why are you here, Mr. Long? Dr. Brooks grimaced and looked Johnny up and down as he sat down. We didn't pay you enough money to sit around with your thumb up your ass before. Now, Robert, Mrs. Brooks chided him, causing him to tuck into his meatloaf with his knife and fork sullenly. I'm sorry about him. He's had a stressful day at work. Doesn't the street rat know enough to stay out of my life? Shouldn't Jafar have had him thrown in the dungeon by now? Dr. Brooks.
God.
Kind of fucking...
Daddy, don't be rude to our guest, Madeline interrupted, causing every eye in the room to turn to her automatically. She smiled serenely and ate a green bean from the end of her fork, demurely. Johnny felt a growing unease with her picture-perfect suburban whiteness that wasn't rooted in annoyance of the dominant socio-political culture for once, and more to do with having seen her ghoul ass hanging from a pirate ship earlier that day.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Of course, darling. Dr. Brooks smiled beamingly at her. Johnny noted this was the first time he had ever seen Dr. Brooks smile. He didn't like it very much. Darling, the goth teen mumbled mockingly under her breath, rolling her heavily pancaked makeup eyes. Evelyn, please. Youthful rebellion can only cover up for so much. Try to at least be polite since you can't be pretty, Mrs. Brooks said awkwardly, trying not to look at her and shifting in her seat uncomfortably. Mr. Long, what is it that you wanted to talk to us about? Well, Johnny began, watching as Mrs. Brooks placed a slab of meatloaf, a slab of cold mashed potatoes, and a slab of gooey green beans onto his plate, with the kind of revulsion growing in his stomach that was normally saved for accidentally channel surfing into a particularly bloody bowel surgery.
It's just a Hungry Man dinner. They just heated that up.
A man slowly moved through the darkness. A suburban home, every light in the building dimmed and inky blackness enveloping him. Still, he moved with purpose in each step as he worked his way up the wooden stairs and onto the landing above. He passed a door with paper taped to it, covered in crayon squiggles of dogs and cats in blue and yellow dancing around one another happily under an incorrectly colored green sun. A door with several posters of boy bands on it, One Direction, BTS, and whatnot, all posing as provocatively as suburban families would allow. A huge red "Keep Out" sign sprawled across the middle of it, all the way down the hallway until he slowly pushed open a larger door at its end, into the master bedroom and across the overly plush shag rug that hadn't been replaced since the 70s.
Ugh.
The shadowy figure knelt down by the window, slipping his gloved fingers beneath the base and the facing and sliding it open as slowly and evenly as he could. A cold breeze slid across his unseen features, and he breathed a heavy sigh of contentment at the feeling. He slid a dark black case onto the carpet and unclipped its sides, pushing it open and reaching within with a calculated smoothness that told that he had done this 1,000 times before. From within, a sniper rifle was drawn, and a scope clipped to the top of it. The stand clipped underneath just as easily, and the man turned and slid the barrel of the rifle out of the window into the cool night air. He tilted his head down and peered a bloodshot eye down the scope. The red crosshair at its end wavered only slightly as he pointed it through a window across the street. It bypassed the happy family of 4 sitting around a dinner table, partaking together, and settled perfectly onto the back of Johnny Long's head. To be continued.
Oh my God!
What the fuck?
Johnny Long, you're gonna get baffled.
Yo, they have a nice rug in that room. Oh, wait, no, that was the room the guy had the sniper
Yeah.
rifle, right?
Yeah, they had that 70s shag.
I see Wristmaster's part 3's over. Stick around for part 4. In it. Governor. Throw another shrimp on the barbie. Go, man United. We'll read the stories by the sea. We'll read the stories by the air. We'll read the stories inside of a subway, which we call the tube.
It's almost time to lock up the house. And then your party will really begin. I wonder how it'll end.
Welcome back, everyone. Part 4. Some might say a decline in quality is due. I would say my story today is called...
I like how he threw me right under the bus for that, too. Declining quality throughout the show.
My story today is called Do the Snipe Thing.
A lot of that could be done.
Starring Wesley Snipes. He's not in that movie.
Lee Wen here. Dr. Lee Wen. I don't really know what this is. Is this experiment 4 this week? Our test subjects have been through more bodies than Leo DiCaprio on an Amalfi Coast vacation.
Oh, yeah.
And to be honest, it's starting to show. They're harder to calm down, harder to settle. They seem despondent and surly when they're in downtime, as if they're taking some of the pain from the cycles home with them. It simply doesn't make sense. The equipment is intended to pull raw data from the realities they visit. Not emotion, not memory. Jesus, just run the simulation already. The tree-lined path was as big a red flag as when a man puts around 5'10" in their dating profile. So
Call me out, Rich.
Luckily, we don't have to have dating profiles anymore, so we're not catching strays on that one.
True.
General Elizabeth Cole took the lower path through the wooded glen down by the water. 2 gross, scaly, beaver-looking things were doing the springtime tussle on the bank, and they turned to look over at Cole. Hey! I'm fucking my wife here! We're having a moment!
Hey!
We've been having a rough time! We're trying for a kid! You can't just walk in and out of here and ruin our relationship, the beaver said. But Liz Cole couldn't talk beaver, and she just left. Just like the beaver's wife 2 weeks later. She would take half of his damn savings, half of his damn possessions, and half of his damn because he's a beaver.
Got alimony payment. Fuck.
The light cascaded through the high leaves in a dapple of white that reflected off the creek. It was beautiful. She could see why her prey had settled here, far away from civilization, like some Russian saint of old, or a celebrity that needs some time away when they're convicted of some sort of sexual misconduct, before finally coming back having found the Lord and a new appreciation for the Trump administration.
Oh no.
Wow.
She progressed along the bank in her military greens until she saw the clearing through the trees, and a wooden cabin running off a portable generator in the middle of it. As cliche as fuck, Liz Cole thought. As she approached the cabin slowly, she noticed a red dot on one of the propane tanks and quickly threw up her personal shield just as a fiery explosion destroyed the cabin. It's me, Peggy! As Liz pulled herself back to her feet, she studied the tree line. I know, that's why I tried to fucking kill you, a laugh echoed in the clearing. I moved 2 systems away, Cole. Was that enough of a hint for you? The voice was muffled, but coming from a position a few metres away at her 2 o'clock. Liz tapped her radio call button twice. We're about to head to war, Peggy. Silence in response. Liz held her hand skyward as she watched her compatriot moving slowly through the trees towards Peggy. Well then, I guess you're going to have your hands fucking full, aren't you? Strange time to be visiting old friends. Friends? Is that what we were? Liz shouted, watching the black form that was Jim Haviland slowly stalking through the brush. Fuck off with that shit, Peggy laughed. When you shit-can your best asset who happens to be your girlfriend, you don't get the opportunity to play boo-hoo jilted lover fucking victim.
True.
Haviland descended on the shadow, only to pull a sheet off a speaker unit. From behind him came a rustle. Clever girl, he whispered.
Copyright strike.
She pointed the sniper rifle directly at his face. Hey, Jimmy, I'm pretty sure I didn't order a fucking moron to be delivered to my porch. She brought the rifle butt down into his nose, knocking him out. Peggy stepped out of the tree line, dragging the incapacitated soldier behind her and dumping him in front of General Cole. In the other hand, she held a sniper rifle, clearly pointed directly at Cole. Should probably tell your boy here that weaponeers don't tend to camp 10 metres from their targets. Typical for a man to overestimate the length needed for a job, eh? Now, get the hell off my little moon, or I put a hole in your head so big it will have its own gravity field.
Damn.
Black hole.
Black hole?
Like a black hole.
I get it.
Not that little moon from what I remember. Liz stared at Peggy's rear. The Omni have started the war again, Peg. No one spent more time on the lines than you. No one living anyway. That made Peggy stop. Fuck off. It's been 4 years. They were almost decimated. Liz sighed. They just attacked Beta Agni 2. We haven't found any survivors yet. Peggy's eyes narrowed. She didn't believe it. She had family, friends on Beta Agni. Aki, Lionel, William. Show me. The frigate took 2 days to get to the system, which was more than enough time for people to sign up to the Audible trial to support their supposed favourite podcast. And yet, the crew still didn't bother. Even though they could keep the show on the air, because none of us have jobs at the moment. But you know, whatever. The ship entered orbit.
That'll get him.
Peggy sat in the co-pilot seat of the shuttle while Jim Haviland piloted the shuttle. He hadn't talked much on the voyage, still annoyed that Peggy had gotten the drop on him. She hadn't told him that she danced better than him or that she probably had a bigger dick than him too. I mean, 0 is bigger than a minus figure, right?
Yep. That's math.
How long until we breach Atmo, Jimmy? Peggy muttered. It's been years. I'm not getting into another petty childish row with you, Peggy. Maybe get your pilot's license and then you'd know, Lieutenant Agnew, Haviland muttered back sulkily. It's fucking autopilot, Jimmy. You flicked a switch on. It must be similar to how you pleasure the unfortunate women you get to call girlfriend. Just flip a switch and pass them the vibrator.
Damn.
He stayed quiet as Peggy watched the heat flush the back of his neck. But Peggy wasn't satisfied with that, and she kicked the back of his chair. If you get any at all, short king. What do you put on your profile? Second best weaponeer in the Galactic Marines? Expert at going up on girls?
That's really good.
World's largest balls in relation to his little hobbit penis? Pip half in, Frodo Ball Baggins, Small Ween Gamgee. I can't think of one for Merry, but you've got a small penis, I'll bet. Fuck off, Haviland muttered. Witty comeback, Kevin Fart. He turned, eyes wild. You'd know all about comebacks, considering the only way anyone would do it with you is your face buried in the pillows, you ugly troll.
Damn. That counts.
She wrapped her arms around his neck. Oh, I've missed this, Jimmy. He reluctantly patted her on the back. Why'd you quit, Peg? We've needed you. Cole isn't lying about the Omni. They've made attacks on all the border worlds. Unigov were all set to slash the military budget too. Thank God they didn't. Peg sat back in her chair, ran a hand across her mouth. There was so much she could say. The way Liz had just cut her loose for a promotion still tore at a healed-over scar. I just couldn't work with her anymore, Jimmy. She's a snake. Jimmy nodded. I agree, but when we hit Sky in 5 seconds, you're going to be as thankful as me that we have a few snakes in our nest. The cockpit window changed from black to blue in a few seconds, and as Peggy watched the colony on which she grew up replaced by a crater of brown dirt, fury replaced the peace she had found in the last few years. Take us back to Cole, Jimmy. She thought for a second. Oh, I've got it. Merry Saddy Fuck.
That's a stretch.
The Graxis base was the primary military resource in the Sol system, where the decision-making bigwigs sat behind the lines making choices that sent millions to their death while they ate steak and played cards. Jimmy walked her through the sterile corridors of the lab until they passed a window where Liz Cole and some scientists stood over a table full of strange materials. Liz looked up as they stepped inside the lab, and with a small gesture, dismissed the others in the room. Your sparkling personality at work again? Peggy sneered. Enough. Liz pointed to the table, where lurid pink and purple items stared up at the three of them. We thought you might be able to do something with these. Jimmy smirked. Yeah, I'm sure there's something you could use to remove that stick out of your vagina, Peggy. Or give you that penis you've envied this long.
These two need therapy.
Yeah, and they just need to rough fuck it out. Just some hard humping, you know?
Peggy picked up a small... on that shag rug.
I need that rug from Jeff's story.
You're going to get chafed, trust me, it happens.
Peggy picked up a small, nubbin-shaped purple plug. Does this look about right to you? Now think, Jimmy. If you say yes, then you're admitting you have a small penis. And if you say no, then you're admitting you check out other men's penises.
Catch 22. Got him.
Liz slammed her hand down on the table. 14,000 people died this morning, and this is all we have left. So stop. They both turned to her, solemn. We fought a long-distance, Calculated war of attrition over a DMZ for 50 years with these bastards. Never seeing their faces, never taking a POW, never learning a name. We'd fire a missile, they'd fling an asteroid at us. Like that time they destroyed Buenos Aires, remember? Peggy nodded.
I'm from Buenos Aires and I say, let's kill them all!
Yeah, it was after prom where I danced with the wrong personality-devoid girl just because she had giant tits instead of that one that was funny and looked at me like Bill Cosby looks at open sky.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
That is dark as fuck.
Liz gestured to the table. Well, those days are over. Fuckers made a real mistake attacking Beta Agni. Anti-aircraft satellites took down the ship, and this is the weaponry and tools we recovered from the crash site. Jimmy looked them over. Something that could have been a screwdriver, maybe. A metal box shaped like a scanner. It was a treasure trove of alien tech he couldn't get his mind around. Are you letting us work with this? Liz nodded. The Science Corps want their sweaty, Cheeto-stained fingers on it, but we need weaponry, not another bread-to-meat ratio for the best meatball sub in the galaxy. We need something to fight these fuckers. So I got you 2 weeks with this stuff before my superiors hand it off to them. Peggy and Jimmy stared at each other.
What could go wrong?
Okay, we'll get on it. Working with Jimmy again was like slipping a hand into a glove, so long as you didn't mind that glove smelt of cheap aftershave and stale coffee, and that had questionable taste in everything, to be honest. They analysed most of the pieces, strange, unusual tools that for the most part could be explained. A sonic resonance driver that, to her credit, Peggy had only taken home twice to have the best orgasm of her life. Like, seriously, if Jimmy hadn't noticed her stealing it and stopping her, she was in danger of separating her groin into its component atoms.
Damn.
That's common.
I mean, yeah.
There was a multi-phase discriminator that could phase items momentarily, an automated analysis unit that could scan intent. It was a hodgepodge of strange equipment that bore no resemblance to one other thing. A Frankenstein's monster of items that they were somehow expected to create something ingenious with, like Adam Frankenstein PI. Look, everyone, I'm trying to get Jeff to bring him back, like I have with Boris Bloodsuck, but I'll square it with you. They both hate you all. I don't. I love you. Your friend Rich. Rich number one.
Whoa!
Wow.
Don't just tell them.
You can't be that honest with them. They're fragile.
Again, Rich number one. Jimmy gasped, putting his goggles up and turning to Peg. Is this what I think it is? He threw a small cylindrical object to her, a portable teleporter. It's not a fleshlight if you got your hopes up prematurely, Jimmy. She rushedly scanned it, then sighed. It had been badly damaged in the crash. The power source so fractured that it would only be capable of transporting terribly small items. Wait, Peg said. I think I've got something here. I've just got to make sense of it. She struggled, an even more complex struggle than Republicans when they're trying to find a new way to hate trans people or young people or basically anyone who isn't white, straight and has a kid or two, by natural means of course, and anything less is unconstitutional.
He knows our constitution better than we do.
USA.
We did it.
Oh God, Jimmy, we could end this in one shot. 2 weeks later, Jimmy pulled off the cloth in one swift motion, expecting gasps and whispers. Instead, the large room of octogenarian generals stared at him like a black guy at their golf club.
Oh.
That joke is too real. So, what is it, Lieutenant Haviland? General Cole asked. It's something in need of a fucking bit of applause, is what, Haviland stated, clearly infuriated. Peggy stepped forward. It's a rifle, General. Possibly the greatest weapon ever constructed. A murmur swept along the assembled generals, and Jimmy threw his hands in the air. What'd they think it was, a fucking pastry brush? Peggy went on. With the assembled unusual tools, she winked at the camera, we've been prompted, she winked again, to build this sniper rifle, one last wink. We didn't phone this in at all like some other storyteller, inventors.
Whoa!
Again,
What the fuck did we do?
Rich number
Talking
one.
about himself this time.
Rich number one. A large-looking man stood at the back of the room.
Rich number 2, and I mean that in all meanings of the word.
Chewing on a cigar in that way sexually repressed men do because they want giant cocks in their mouth. Hey, look, I don't make the rules.
Very specific.
God damn.
Orally fixated, possibly closeted men. What?
Speak
what
it.
can
Speak the truth, Rich.
What can it do, lieutenants? It has no scope, no trigger. I don't see how this is a rifle. Jimmy sighed. Look, we combined the threat analysis module, the AI, the teleporter, the resonance unit, grafted every one of them onto this. This rifle can predict threats, we can program them in, and end the war in one shot. The concept, though created by Peggy in a moment of pure hatred, now sat cold in her stomach. No one person should have this much power. The one thing that calmed her nagging is the potential to save lives. Peggy looked over to Jimmy and nodded. What's the catch? Liz Cole asked, reading the glance between them. What have you two done? Peggy put her hands on her hips and took a deep breath, looking over at the attendees. Well, here's the thing. The only people that can fire this weapon is Jimmy and I. We don't trust you lot not to use this on anyone you want to. This is to end a war, not start new ones. Jimmy nodded, despite the glares from the military men and women. So, shall we begin? Jimmy pulled a star chart up on the display as he stood over Peggy. She had set the rifle up on the table, more a block of metal with strange boxes attached than a rifle, and waited for him to direct her. 13 degrees right, 17 down, he whispered. Considering you've been
It's coming to me. It's coming to my house.
It's not wish fulfillment, it's a story, alright?
I'm crossing that off my bingo card. Josh trying to kill himself. Okay.
Is that all that's on this bingo card?
A lot of it's free spaces.
2 spaces.
Yeah.
Considering you've been searching for a fucking clue your entire life, you're not bad with directions, are you, Jimmy? Jimmy huffed a laugh. And considering you're a fucking moron, you are still just a fucking moron, I guess. You should be pointing somewhere out in Rigel. Just think Omni General. She thought her clearest thought and then whispered to the rifle. Kill the Omni Generals. End this war. The rifle fired, then nothing. No hole in the wall, no trajectory smoke, no gunpowder. At the General's frown, she explained. The teleporter makes the bullet jump, not travelling under any velocity of its own, just jumping from place to place. The AI auto-corrects it based on the resonance scans of the area, and the threat detector can assess who is their highest ranking troublemaker based on intel gathered from any local information source it hacks into. Now we just wait. The next 3 weeks for torture. Watching the display on the rifle.
3 weeks?
As
the
the
slowest
rifle,
gun ever.
as the bullet they had fired zipped around faster than your mother on Bumble or whatever dating app she hasn't been kicked off yet for spreading her STIs.
Bumble. Did you get kicked off for that?
I think so. The travel time for the bullet was slow, only as fast as the data could calibrate, but it was heading through Rigel. Names would pop up on the screen randomly, then be crossed out. Peggy didn't know how to feel about these random names popping up and being eliminated. Were they men? Women? Did they have families? Were they caught in a moment of anger? Could they have changed their ways? Were they just having a Monday? It was impossible to tell.
Dude, this thing's just gonna keep going the whole universe.
Yeah.
Good.
What-
And
One look,
It's just gonna keep going until
one
everyone's
look at
dead.
Jimmy, who hadn't eaten in 4 days and had barely slept, told her he felt the same. One afternoon he said, Are we evil, Peggy? Have we done the right thing here? Before Peggy could answer, the AI on the rifle spit words onto the display. Shot complete. Bullet destroyed. All major leaders of rebelling factions have been eliminated. Regarding your query, it was necessary to end the threat from humanity's perspective. The concept of morality, or morally right, is subjective. Would you like me to analyse new threats based on new data? No, Peggy sighed. So tired, so glad it was over, and switched the rifle's display to hidden. The rifle quieted just as General Cole came through the door to the lab. She made a note of the atmosphere in the room and threw a look at Peggy. What's happening here? Jimmy was great and threw on a fake smile so convincing that Peggy instantly felt better. The numbers are still running. 2 targets eliminated today so far, no sign of stopping really. The lie was so easy that Cole bought it instantly. Peggy? Cole asked. Peggy looked up, her eyes glazy. We're just tired. That bullet isn't sleeping, so we can't either. Liz nodded. I understand. We'll just need to get you some other analysts to help in the future. Peggy went pale, stared over at Jimmy, who huffed knowingly. What do you mean the future? Cole went over to the rifle, patted it. You can't have ever believed we would have stopped at this. We can keep it in reserve. The ultimate deterrent. No one will ever know. And the threat detector and AI can be tweaked to predict these threats before they even begin. Preemptive threat removal. We'll never see another war again.
Wow.
Peggy stood. Yet, because we'll be the warmongers, you sanctimonious piece of shit. She punched Cole as hard as she could.
Galactus when you need him.
Captain Galactus.
He's fucking tweaking out.
Yeah, he's in a ball at the moment.
He's going through some shakes.
Yeah.
She punched Cole as hard as she could, splitting her nose and sending her to her knees faster than your mum after someone pays the bill on a date. Margaritas for her. Woohoo!
I'm up next.
Cole, to her credit, didn't shout or scream or fight back. She refused to let the hit bother her. Just wiped the blood on her cuff and stood gingerly. Gingerly, like shakily. She wasn't cowering from the sun because of her pale skin or anything.
Wow. I don't know what we did. I don't know what happened.
Marking that off
this
the card. There we go. Got that one.
I'll let you have that one, Peggy, in respect of what we had. But you pull that shit again, you're going to find your name. You might find your own name on that readout. She spun on her heel and left. Peg. Jimmy looked concerned for his old squad mate as Peg flipped the rifle back on. One word flashed in green on the display. Instruction? She looked at Jimmy. He nodded. Fire, said Peggy. A list of names flashed by, a list so long that they could barely read the names anymore. And at the end of the list, Elizabeth Cole, then James Haviland, then Margaret Agnew. She gave Jimmy one last look. Peggy woke with a start and found an Asian man staring down at her. She had felt the bullet pass through her head. She had experienced death. How was that possible? Her hands jumped to his throat, his face turning blue as her fingers tightened around Lee Wen's windpipe. Trey, stop, he wheezed. She felt compelled to stop, and her fingers released him. She stared up at the man, his identity flitting on the edge of her consciousness. She looked over at the table beside her where Jimmy lay in a hospital gown. How? She had seen him die. Then she felt a pinprick at her arm, and consciousness escaped her. Well, I'll be, said Dr. Wen. The end.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's such a good story.
Thanks.
I love that
dude.
idea. I love that idea that there's just like this sentient thing that is just somewhere that no one knows. Like, because they're all dead now, right?
Yep.
Like, what does this thing do?
And who
Just
knows?
sits there
Who knows
waiting?
how long the bullet is travelling for? Right? It finished
Right?
the first mission. Who knows what she was thinking on the second fire? Could have finished
Yeah.
everyone off in that reality.
Yeah,
See,
that's what I would do.
the thing about Rich's stories is like they all have this guise of being like high sci-fi stuff, but it's all too real. It all hits too close to home, Rich. So I'm scared. You know, I'm pooping pants from Jeff one, okay, and then I'm pooping pants from Rich, okay,
Now you
and
know
then
what
I'm
it's
crying.
like for me.
Yeah. That's why I tried to write a fun,
I
happy
die
one.
so much.
It's our fault, sure. You would think that like Lee Wen would look at this footage of what just happened in that universe and be like, all right, so maybe I hired a couple psychopaths. Maybe I should rethink this a little bit.
Yeah.
This was a bad idea.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it though. Like all the infinite possibilities. Like there's going to be an infinite bad idea possibilities too, right?
That seems to
Like,
be what's happening in the story.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
infinite bad idea story.
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Man.
I love it.
Yeah, that
I love
rule.
it,
Yeah,
man.
bravo,
I
Rich.
finished that one and I was like, I wished I'd like had more time to write that one. I think that one could be like a proper little sci-fi short story.
My only critique is stop yelling at us.
Yeah, we're your friends.
Yeah,
What
I know.
happened?
Nothing.
What did we do?
Nothing.
Oh.
He's exactly like his
problem?
character in the story, just sending the bullet out.
Yeah,
for nothing.
exactly.
That's right. He's just letting it fly.
Yeah, the bullets
hit me right in the
The
head.
bullets land where they land, right?
He's right.
All right.
It's like the opening
kinda
shot of Lord of
disagree.
War.
I kind of disagree that you just did the bullets land where they land. That's fine.
Collateral damage.
He's like that one movie where they twist the bullets. What the fuck is that called?
Wanted.
Oh,
Wanted.
Wanted.
Yeah, that's rich.
Yeah.
That's a real
shooting it.
thing.
Wanted, the comic is that the movie is quote unquote based on. Has one of the most insane fucking final pages of all comics history. Where
Hell
the main
yeah.
character is naked and you can see him from mostly the waist up, and he's making a big stupid face, and it says, "This is the face I make when I'm fucking you in the ass."
Yeah.
That's so weird because me too.
It's like the real Kick-Ass comic, right? Like,
Yeah, it's by the same
the
guy.
ending. Yeah, it makes sense.
I think Mark Miller is
yeah.
a little bit too near the mark.
Uh-huh.
No, I didn't mean it as a pun. It's just a bit like he uses the hard R word a lot, and like
Yeah. He's kind of a dumbass. His
Yeah.
high concept comics are always really fucking stupid.
yeah.
And,
Yeah.
fuck that guy. Hit him with the bullet.
Put his name in. It's fine.
He'll be on the list eventually.
Just
Yeah,
that's
it's going
true.
through us all. Literally.
That's such a horrifying idea, like with the AI of a weapon, and
Yeah, like a
it
smart.
just feels
yeah.
too real. I don't know. It's just not
Yeah,
that
when you
far
said-
away, Rich. I think you're
soon as
working
you
on it
said-
right now.
Yeah.
As soon as you said AI, I was like, I don't like this plan.
Yeah.
Cross my arms.
Nope. No, sir.
Nope,
I don't
nope,
like
nope,
it.
nope.
Well, the thing is
Yeah.
as well, like, there's little bits in the story where it's like, are the Omni starting a war? Or, like I said about, like, the
Right.
military government, military spending was being cut and stuff like that. And it was like, was it? Is there a war
Right,
on?
they don't. Yeah.
Yeah. They never saw them. You know, have they been
Yeah,
doing
they
it
didn't know
like
what
this
their
the whole
technology
time?
was. Yeah.
Did they
that-
destroy Buenos Aires? We don't know.
Yeah. Maybe they were just trying to shoot their, maybe it's a false flag.
Yeah.
That's where Captain Galactus is vacationing right now.
Right? That's what his name was.
His name
I fucked
wasn't his
it
name
up.
Captain Galactic?
Yeah.
Yeah, Galactic. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Galactus is a big guy who eats
It's
planes.
the Mandela effect, and now it's Galactus. Okay, it's fine.
What happens?
It
I'm
doesn't
in a
matter.
different universe. The bullet went through my head. All right, I don't know.
The bullet went through my head a long
Yeah, that's
time
what's
ago.
wrong with
Time
all
ago.
of us. The bullet's already gone through.
We've
I
woken
love
up
how
in
it's
the...
the Star Trek gun. I like how it's the Deep Space Nine gun.
Yeah.
Too. That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a bit of everything, right?
TR-116B.
The Vulcan rifle.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah,
They
sorry.
had to nerf that in the game because everyone was using it all the time.
I don't doubt that.
OP
Like
as
you could
shit.
fight the Borg and it would just kill the Borg like immediately, but they were like, no, you can't do that. You can't kill the Borg that easily.
The only way you
Went through
can...
their shields.
The only way you can have a weapon in that game is if it's like it's a use once or a use twice type of deal where you can do that and then you can never use it again.
They have the Shax, right? The Shax gun. People use that a lot.
Oh, the instant death.
The golden gun.
Yeah.
The big old gun.
Yeah.
Well, that was a successful episode, fellas.
Yeah. Sorry for being fourth and bumming you out, because that's what happens when I'm fourth. Okay, so sometimes when I'm first or second as well, but you know.
I woke up bummed out. I don't give a
Oh,
I was about to say, how does your position in the show differ whether we're
Yeah.
bummed afterwards or not?
Yeah, fucking.
true.
I stopped still here. Cool. Guess I'll just go back into my cave,
but
right, guys?
what
Right,
what
guys?
what I need you guys to remember is as well, who's getting all this data?
Yeah,
Lin.
why are they getting it?
but-
Lee
What are
was
they
getting
doing?
it for a purpose, but why?
Yeah,
why
but-
does King of Patrons want him to do this so bad?
Yeah, why does he do? Why?
Mystery.
Yeah.
I need to know. I need to know.
Well, you will. Maybe sooner than
I?
you think.
Oh, really?
It's like 2 weeks from now when the next episode comes out.
Maybe if the prompts are right. And on that note,
I knew it.
king of fucking segues. Right, that's time to close the cover on this week's stories.
The king of segs and the king of sex, Rich Masters.
Rich
Perfect.
Masters.
Right, I'm gonna call out the all-C prompt, whatever we call it. So the first prompt this week is from Frog the Scribe, which is possibly one of the best names for a patron.
I love that name.
Betrayal.
Wow.
Okay, I'm writing that down.
And and the second one is
He's not gonna
I'm just gonna show up. I'm just gonna join the call.
Yeah, but I'm writing that down. It's so fucking funny.
the second one is Clowns by V.
No.
We were almost
That's like
on
a
a good
very
thing.
story.
No
lords.
wonder V picked clowns, is all I'm saying.
Damn. Fucking got him.
So, first off, I'm going to say a big thanks to Greg for being on the episode. Greg,
Hell
Thank
yeah.
you guys.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you for having me back.
Greg rules.
We love
Thank
you.
you. Mwah.
where can
Mwah.
for all those who
Let's try
don't
this again.
for all those who don't know everything about you, including your inside leg measurement and how you best like to be tickled, where can they find details
down.
about you?
Well, people can go to VidaZen.card with 2 R's.co. And on there, I have links that go to all social stuff if I have anything, for band stuff, for, solo stuff, anything else I'm working on. So if you go there, you can find out what I'm doing. Probably going to revamp that soon so that it's updated with things. But right now, there's not a whole lot, But, if you want to go there, you can. But
This turned out really good, and then it quickly became you go to Google
you
and
go
you
to
type in Greg and you
Google.com.
find it. You find me.
go to there. But yeah,
Type in
if,
Greg and you scroll down to the G's.
go down to the G's, try to find the last name, GG. Okay, where? If you look up Santosha, the links are on the card.co as well. But if you want to follow my band, we play like prog, rock, emo, revival, whatever the fuck shit.
Great. It's
Yeah,
great.
Santosha rules.
We just write like based off, all the shit we grew up listening to and stuff we still listen to now.
3-6
And just
Mafia.
3-6 Mafia is in there.
You can really hear
Destiny's
that.
Child is in there too.
Absolutely.
Trina.
But yeah, we just write what we like to hear, and that's the fun of it. There's no, there's no framework for it. It's whatever we feel like kind of doing and what we enjoy, and hopefully that connects with some people. But keep your eyes open. Like in the summer, if you're in East Coast, I say that, but it's a very. It's like one very specific point. It's just if you're in the Pennsylvania area, that's pretty much where we
the
play.
entire East Coast.
Yeah, the
Pennsylvania.
entire East Coast of Pennsylvania.
It's the only state I know.
We definitely talked about trying to look for some other shows like in the tri-state area too. So if you're around there or whatever, just follow us. And you'll be able to see what we're up to if you want to come out to a show and fucking.
Book these men.
I just
Book
want
them.
I just want if people enjoy it and you're around and you can come to a show. All I ask is get on stage and fucking do a flip off for me because that's all I want. And then I can be done. I'll stop playing music.
You can
My
retire?
back fucking
Yeah.
hurts. Yeah, I'll retire.
Greg
I'm
got
good.
so mad at me that I wouldn't do a backflip. He
I was like,
on
Jeff,
stage
what the
playing
fuck,
and
dude?
yelling into the microphone. Do a backflip, Jeff!
This is our new song. Jeff, do a fucking backflip.
Jeff,
We're
get
not
your
gonna start till he
fucking
does it.
ass up here. Do a backflip right now, or
Like,
you're
it got
never
really
coming back.
awkward. Like the band stopped playing after a while, and he's still
Yeah.
screaming into the microphone at him.
Yeah. My brother looked over and he's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" I was like,
Andy
"Don't you
Kaufman
fucking
is
look
hell,
at me."
dude.
Everyone in the crowd was staring directly at me, being like, "Is he gonna?"
Yeah.
Is he gonna
I pointed him out. Yeah, I took a laser pointer right in Jeff's eyes. He was like, "Ooh, ooh, 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 ooh." And I was like, "No."
Impression of me.
Yeah.
There's two me's.
He became
Holy shit.
he became the Triple G himself.
Hey, I'm one initial away from that, so you know.
Middle name isn't what you think it is.
It's my altered
Gordon G.
form.
Gordon.
That's gonna be the next character that I write if I ever fucking
That's a
come
hard
back.
one
But
to
you guys will
maintain,
probably
though.
bar me from this shit, so it's fine. Hey, you know what? I'll just go do a podcast by myself for a little while. It's fine.
Oh, not this idea again.
I thought it was good. It came to me when I was writing, so whatever. You know.
You guys,
We'll see. I'll explore it.
You need to go to a Santosha show. It is a good ass fucking time.
Yeah, we try to have
I'm
fun.
gonna go to another one whenever it happens.
Hell yeah. And drag
I'll
Joshy
see you.
down.
We're gonna go camping. We have our own
That's true.
That's
our own show with hookers and blackjack.
That's way better than what I'm doing. Shit. But yeah, that's everything I got. All right, I'm done. You keep on going, Rich.
If you want to suggest prompts,
Dance Monkey.
if you want to suggest prompts or support the show, you can head over to patreon.com/storylords. For $5, you get access to the Discord where you can interact with your fellow squires. You can have access to the stories in print form, and you can suggest prompts when prompt call goes out. For $10, you get access to Afterlords and Redesigned by Committee, Master's Piece Theatre, all the other side stuff we do. I've got a new idea for a sidecast that I'm going to talk to the guys about at some point, which I think will be quite fun.
Cool.
Is this
Don't do
another
the,
one where you rate penises in front of us again? I don't like this idea. I don't think it translates well to an audio format.
You're so
hey,
mean to us about our penises too. It's unnecessary.
Let grow them then, for God's sake. Stop sending me flaccid pics.
Use the garden hose. Use the garden hose.
It doesn't make me hard if you yell. That scares me.
I mean,
Scares it back in.
You're in the wrong sort of relationships
turtling.
then, my friend.
I just want to say that you guys are the best guys, and if anyone is listening to this for the first time, which why? But like, if you are and you made it this far, you should support these guys because that's what helps them keep doing cool shit like this. And every story that comes out, like you guys just keep topping yourselves every single time. I love listening. I'm a fan. And if you're listening to this, then you should be too, or else why the fuck are you here? So get on over to the fucking Patreon right now. I'm getting mad. 2025 is fucking
The year of Mad Greg.
fucking Greg VidaZen fucking pissed and yelling, all right?
2025 is the year I'll come out of my cage, motherfucker.
right.
Let's go.
Coming out of my
Mad Dog-
cage,
Mad
and I'm
Dog
not
Greg.
doing fine. I'm not doing fine, okay? Like the killers, no.
No.
Not doing
Not
fine.
fine.
Not fine.
This dude's coming off the leash. Big dog Greg.
I love you, Greg. You're the greatest.
Yeah, Greg
You're
rules.
so kind and lovable.
Oh, it's my pinchable
come-
cheeks. That's what
Just
it is.
come over. I got a footstool. Get over here.
I'm on the way. I'm on the way. Say less.
Greg.
I'm coming.
Storylords is now on YouTube, so you can head over to YouTube, and once a week, John Anderson, the delicious, the lovely, the kissable
Delicious.
Anderson, he is uploading episodes so that you can listen to them again. If you are due a Storylords re-listen, then you can head over to there, and that will really help us out.
Yeah, do that. We really appreciate it. Thanks, John. That's it. These episodes are long as fuck, and it must take hours to upload. So thank you.
John rules.
John.
does.
He's a 10 out of 10 guy.
If you want to hear anything else about have you guys noticed that when you guys are really enthusiastic with your praise, I freeze up and I can't do it.
Yeah, it's because we're traumatized millennials who don't know how to deal with that
Yeah.
shit. That's why.
When
I'm
you
breaking
guys
out
are,
of that shit. I'm trying to praise everybody who deserves it these days.
yeah, but if I
Yeah.
don't get in first, I can't do it because it sounds fake to me in my own head. So when you,
You gotta
say
work
nice,
on your acting ability.
when you say nice
You gotta
things,
lie better.
Just go to therapy,
How to
Rich.
lie.
That's what I did.
Yeah, same, but it doesn't cure all ills. Storylords.page, storylords.card.co. Leave us a review on iTunes. As always, I will review the list of patrons. Henry Roslar, Technomancer, King of Patrons. We love you to bits. Anthony Stoker, Chris Balso, who has upped recently his pledge. He's a new Masterpieces pledger. Federico Rodriguez, Granola Daniels, Heath Robinson, the lovely Kissable Jonathan Anderson, Pez King, Rena Kemp, Sean Tabor, Squid Ludwig, Stephen, and Werewolf Bar Mitzvah. And I'm going to do my usual thing.
Stephen.
Yeah, I know. It's just
Stephen. Shout out to Stephen.
I am going to give a shout out to another single name, like Prince, Ian, who has been a Hender Saints supporter since February 7th, 2023. Thank you, Ian. We love you. You're also kissable, but not as kissable as John Anderson, obviously. Wow. So yeah, I mean, it's the money they pay is how kissable they are. Henry Roslar,
it's like prostitution. If you pay enough, we'll kiss you on the mouth. I don't give a shit.
Absolutely. You will have noticed, dear listener, that there has been, for the last 2 episodes, an Audible advert to get you to try and sign up for an Audible trial. If you do that in the correct way, and you sign up for a free trial, which will not cost you anything, it will help the show. We would really like you to do that.
I can give them deft instructions for this right now.
Go
to audibletrial.com/storylords and immediately click on the sign up for the free trial button. If you click around the website, it takes our money away for some reason.
Yeah.
Because it's Amazon.
Use that link.
And that's what they do. Oh, man. Right. Join us next time for a betrayal of clowns, apparently. Sure to be a hoot.
I'll be there.
We're turning on each other. Betrayal of clowns.
I mean, who's even going to tell Greg that he can't do it? Like, he'll just show up. We'll just let him do it.
Josh, that's so harsh. Why have you got to say that? I'm sorry, Greg, but if we all don't agree, then you're not allowed on the show.
Josh did say he hates you. He said it right there.
I mean,
I'm turning around. I was on my way, and now I'm turning around.
I was going to get laid.
Thank you all for listening. Thanks again, Greg. You've been lovely.
Thank you,
Josh
guys.
And Jeff, you've also been lovely, and I love you guys too.
Aww.
And we will see you in 2 weeks for more Story Lords goodness, and hopefully some stories of some similar or better quality. Bye!
Bye!
Bye!